Welcome everybody to the Sunday edition of Blunders and Bothwellians Wounded Witch edition. This is the Sunday Party, episode 1. Welcome to the madness, guys.
Yay!
Yay! Woo! Woo! Woo!
Yeah, that's very sudden. Okay.
Alrighty, guys. So, the music will end at some point, but it's just going to keep going for now, because backing tracks are awesome. And it took me ages to find, so we're going to play it. God damn it. Okay, I can now introduce you to where you are starting. You are in the country of Travis. You are right on the breezy northwestern coast in a port town called Savis. Now, it's up to you how you got there. Most of you, from what your characters told me, have been wandering about. Some of you can have come over from the land bridge between Travis and Risha. Some of you have been travelling through Travis. It's all entirely up to you. That can come out through play. You are in the port town. Beyond the town lies the Wood Pass. Beyond that is the rest of Travis. Savis used to be a bustling town with ships and cargo to and from the town Clench on the bridge land bordering Risha, but now sits windswept and bare. The houses are all battened down, every window is boarded up. As you walked through the town individually, you saw there were not many people here. All of them were wrapped up in thick cloaks, and you noticed that most of them spend their days working in makeshift fields surrounding the town, planting and harvesting, etc. I would like you all, unless previously stated, to roll a d6 and type the answer for me. That's a 6-sided regular dice, just in case anyone's panicking.
Yeah.
Alright, Kiara's got a 5, Pug's got a 1, Varric's got a 5, Belgarth's got a 5, Enna's got a 6. Cool. Based on previous discussions I've had with some characters, basically what you just rolled is how long you've been here.
Okay.
Everybody except for Kes. You have been here for... Kes, you have just arrived today, as in the last hour.
Fine. So me and Varric have been travelling together, so...
Yeah.
So we're probably here for the same amount of time.
Yeah. Arissa and Varric, you've been here for 5 days. Kiara, you've been here for 5 days. Belgarth, you've been here for 5 days. Bloody hell. Enna, you've been here for 6, very nearly a week. Is that everybody? Everyone's rolled, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they for 1 day.
You have been here for 1 day. You can decide if that's a night and a day, or you can decide if it's just sort of 24 hours. I'll leave that up to you.
So we have been here 6 or 5 days. Have we bumped into each other before this point, or have we just not encountered each other at all?
You've bumped into each other, and what you have found individually is you've got your way into the largest building left in the town, which is an old tavern with a peeling sign which once read Red Holly.
Okay.
Is it Red Holly?
I'm typing, don't worry.
Okay.
Anytime I introduce a character or a place, I'll attempt to type it for you as well, alright?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the congregation place where townsfolk gather. Food is divided and rationed out by 3 hulking half-orcs in one corner, and all the food and rations are stored in the house next door. There is a human male with long matted braided hair behind the bar, and a group of 7 older humans and a couple of dwarves sit by the roaring fire. They're all very, very old and don't go to work in the fields. It is to them that each of you were sent when you first arrived. So, those of you who've arrived today, you are stood in this tavern in front of the elders of the town. The rest of you are also sat with them because you have had exactly the same conversation with them that Kess and Pug are about to have.
So we were like sent by like people just called us over.
As soon as you arrived in the town, you were told, "Oh, you should go and speak to those guys. Go speak to the elders. They're in the tavern."
So what if we didn't want to?
That's up to you. This is where you're told to be. You can. No. It's an open world, man. Well, sort of. You can avoid it if you like. In fact, Kez, seeing as you've just arrived, you aren't in the tavern yet. You've been told you should go there, but you don't necessarily have to be in the actual tavern. Pug, you most likely are in the tavern because you've been there for a few hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, drinking. Order a drink.
Those of you who've been here for a few days, when you spoke to the elders, what they basically said was, we've been here for a long time. We've all experienced the war that ravaged our country. We can't, in good conscience, let anyone leave our town. It's too dangerous.
Okay, interesting.
So, at the moment, I would say everyone, with the potential exception of Kez, unless you want to be there, you're all pretty much in this tavern.
I would say I would go to the tavern, but I wouldn't talk to the elders, just observe.
Yeah, that's okay. You can sit in the corner and observe. The rest of you, Arissa and Varric, you're together. The rest of you, you can chat. You're all outsiders, so you can decide whether that means you'd find your way together or not. It probably would mean you'd be shoved at the same table because everyone else has their own regular places. But again, up to you. I'm gonna let you play.
Still rustling the table, right?
What are the chances that I'd be performing in the...
Say again?
what are the chances I'd be performing?
You can do.
Okay, because I've got that thing where if I perform in a place, I get free room and board.
Ah.
Things like that, so...
Playing the system.
I've got to feed my hungry elf.
I was just about to say, I'm probably somewhere in a corner eating. What do they serve?
I'm just writing that in my notes now. Quote for the evening.
That's a good question, actually. I'm interested in seeing what beverages I can drink here.
Okay, are you going to go and talk to the guy behind the bar?
I think I might, just in the interest of getting myself a beverage.
Oh, goody, because I get to show you what he looks like.
Okay.
Yay!
I'm probably there as well, trying to order food.
Alright.
I'm expecting a large hat.
A very, very large hat.
He better be wearing a big hat.
I hope there's a raven on it.
Yes. He's not wearing a hat.
So cheated.
Alright.
I'm let down. I feel let down right
Sorry.
now. And there's a spanner on his skirt.
Sorry.
Mismatched.
I couldn't delete that from the picture. This is Listor, sorry. He is your barkeep. He's human, male, a little bit out of shape, but he's been hefting barrels and things.
Look at the picture!
He is very good.
So that's a little bit out of shape. His biceps are bigger than my head.
Hey, look at this. I gave him a podgy stomach, it's just hidden, alright?
Alright, fair enough.
Basically, his arms are fairly decent because he's been lugging beer barrels and mead and all that stuff up and down, but he's
Sure, okay.
out of shape in as much as he's not, fit. Well, it depends.
Okay.
It depends what you like. Depends what you like. It's all good. It's all good.
No judgment here.
He is behind the bar. Those of you who've been here for a while, he's been here every day.
Okay.
Yeah, go crazy. That's just a picture. Go crazy. Whoever's chatting to him, go for it.
Well, I'll approach him first, and I'll just say.
Comedy
good day, my
accent.
good-
Comedy accent. Sorry, carry on.
I thought that's what I was doing. Anyway, I'll be saying to him, my good man, if I could just peruse your wine list by any chance, if you have such a thing.
He gives you a snort and pushes a chalkboard across the bar at you, and on it is written ale, mead, dark wine, and tap water.
What, they have tap water?
I've never experienced dark wine before. I must confess I've only ever seen red or white kind, but I'll be interested to find out what dark wine is.
He raises his eyebrow at you and goes, oh, sorry, was that someone speaking? I just heard
No, we're
No.
just waiting on you.
sorry, someone's mic rustled. I was hoping it wasn't Varric going crazy again. Sorry. So you're asking about the dark wine, yes?
I was wondering what it might taste like.
Ew, Varric, ew.
Nice.
He says,
Aww, that's so cute. Yeah.
Well done, Hunter.
he says, well, it's dark and it's wine. What do you expect?
Why is the bartender a scouser?
DM choice.
Fair enough, no worries. Okay. So I missed what he said. I was just enjoying the accent so much. What did he say again?
He said, well, it's dark and it's wine. What do you expect?
Well, I don't know. As I say, I've only ever had red wine or white wine in my life. I've never actually found myself experiencing the pleasure, I'm sure, of dark wine. So if I might take a glass of that, I would be appreciative of it.
He says, so you're
How are you daring to call my accent silly now?
so you're one of them fancy folks, are you? With your fancy white wine and your red wine. We're not good enough for you, are we?
I never said that at all. I only said that I'd be interested in experiencing your dark wine.
Well, I brewed it myself, so it should be good enough for you. Here. And he passes you a glass which sort of slops over the edge.
Why, thanks, good sir. And how much will that be?
He looks you full on, up and down, takes in your appearance, and says, 1 gold.
Can I take this moment to say that I'm sort of sat on a table, maybe in the corner of a bar, sort of just overlooking everything?
Yes.
Sweet.
Noted.
With a mead.
Right, okay. So, let me think. 1 gold piece seems a hefty sum for a glass of wine, good sir.
Well, you fancy folks should be used to paying more than that.
Well, we fancy folk are used to paying quite a considerable amount less for glasses of wine in what you call the fancier locations in this country.
Well, seeing as this is the last wine that's left in this part of Trevis, I think you can afford it, can't you?
Well, would you believe it? I actually can't. It's not anything against your vintage, but I actually find myself not being able to afford this wine if it is worth the cost you mentioned.
Well, you better give us a silver then, haven't you?
A silver seems more likely.
Yeah, hand it over.
Okay, I'll pay him a silver.
Alright, he takes the silver off you and throws it into his pocket. And is anyone else at the bar?
Yeah.
I'm at the bar.
Alright, he turns to Varric first and says,
Hi.
and what'll you be having?
Is there any food?
Yeah, we got food. You'll have to go talk to them though. And he points at the 3 half-orcs in the corner.
Okay, thanks. And I turn around and go straight for the guys in the corner.
Alright. And what about you? And he's looking at you, Pug.
I'm not drunk enough to talk to these guys yet. I need an ale.
Loving every minute of it. Please go.
Please carry on, that's amazing.
I'd actually get a kick out of that.
No, don't give up now. It was amazing.
Guys,
Please keep going.
he wasn't in character. He's not drunk enough to talk to us yet.
Now I'm officially drunk. Yeah, I'm officially drunk. Let me do it in character. Alright, I'm not drunk enough to talk to these blokes yet. Give me an ale, barkeep.
That'll be a big one, right?
Say again?
That'll be a big one for you, right?
Damn right.
Alrighty. And he takes one of those massive tankards and fills it from a barrel at the back. And he hands it to you. And he looks at you and he goes, is that big enough for you?
Boy, there, gods, that'd be enough to put me onto the table in one.
Yeah, and I drink it not in one gulp, but it's like, one continuous gulp.
Okay. He stops you halfway through. He stops you halfway through with his hands and he goes, alright. That'll be 1 copper, please.
I won't go up when I pay him the copper.
Carry on. This is hilarious.
I'm glad I'm entertaining you, and it keeps on drinking.
Just so you know, I'm going to be detaining this barkeep as he goes past me. Just forewarning, so that you know that what's about to happen.
You're detaining him. What do you mean?
Well, your man just paid a copper piece for a tankard of ale as big as my friggin' forearm, while I shelled out a silver for a glass of what I'm going to assume is fairly brackeny tasting wine.
And which one of these people was rude to the DM?
Oh, we're making it personal now, are we?
It's about how your character looks and interacts with the NPC.
I gave him nothing but complete politeness, and I'm rewarded for this by being ripped off.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm going to be looking at my intimidation score, just for no reason.
Pug,
Why?
how many of these have you had so far today?
How long have you been here? What time of day is it?
It's just after lunchtime.
Just after lunchtime, like 3.
Can you roll a d6 for me?
1d6. 6.
Alright, the bar stool wobbles underneath you and falls over, but you manage to catch yourself on the bar and stay standing.
Nice.
Alright, is anyone else at the bar? Did anyone else want to order stuff?
I'm not paying for that shitty bar stools you got here.
That's alright, mate. And he comes around the bar and he picks it up and he taps you on the back and he says, you just get sitting back down there again, you'll be alright.
Good. I like the service here.
What does my wine taste like, by the way?
Hang on. Roll me a d20. Alright, well, I rolled a 17. So, it's okay. It tastes like fermented wine made by someone who's not entirely sure what they're doing. And it's okay, but it's very bitter. It's like old wine, but not old in a good way. Like old, left out, and a bit sort of, a bit like it's got a hit. It hits you at the back of the throat, a bit like tequila or something.
Okay. I think I might just let it go this time. if this wine is basically as alcoholic as tequila, I think I might just let it go and just enjoy the homebrew.
Moonshine, guys.
I was expecting a glass of wine. I got something much more alcoholic. You know, I'll take it. Why not?
All right. So are you two staying at the bar? And what's everyone else doing? You're speaking to the half-orcs, okay. As you walk across the room, you walk past everyone else who's in the bar, so everyone else has now seen you. Every other player has seen you if you haven't already. And
quick thing. I probably have the scarf, the big purple scarf, over my ears.
Over your ears?
Yeah, so that it's less noticeable that I'm an elf.
You mean apart from the breathtaking good looks, shiny skin, tallness and shiny hair?
Yeah, do me a liquor good.
Sharpened.
Alright, so in the corner of the room, and you know this having been here for a while, and so does anyone else, there are 3 half-orcs. They're all fairly big. You've seen a lot of these guys around town. There's probably about 15 of them. No, 12. Probably about 12 of them. Anyway, 3 of them are sat at a long table in the corner, and they have rations of food. And they are stood with a queue of townsfolk, and they're checking off names on a list and handing out rations to them. The guy in front, there's only one guy left in the queue as you join it, Varric, and the guy in front of you is having an argument with one of the half-orcs, and he's saying, "But I had more than this yesterday, this is ridiculous." And the half-orc is saying, "Yeah, get along with you, sunshine, or you'll get even less." And the guy says, "But this is ridiculous, we've been out in the fields working all day, we harvested more than this, where's it all gone?" And the half-orc says, "Just get on with it or we'll eat it all instead." And the guy sort of moves on and goes, all right, and hurries away. One of the half-orcs ticks off something on a piece of paper and looks up and he says, "And what can I do for you?"
Well, considering I've been here a few days, I probably know these guys somewhat because, well, I've been talking to them a lot.
Yes.
What's my standing with them?
You're all right. You're a newcomer to town, but you haven't done anything yet. So your name is on their list, but they're not giving you a lot. One of them says to you, "Oh, it's you again."
Hi.
Hello.
Can I have my rations of food?
You know, it's getting a bit ridiculous. You've been here for what, 5 days?
Yeah.
What have you done for us?
Well, I haven't been around to doing much yet.
Yeah, nothing. That's what you done. Nothing. Now then, you want to keep getting rations off us? You need to go work in the fields with the rest of the punters.
Where would I go to start working then?
Rock up at the field tomorrow morning. They'll show you where to go. There's plenty of space, plenty of work to be done. This food don't come off trees, you know. Well, and the other one taps him and goes, "Well, it does actually come off trees, you know." "Yeah, I know it comes off trees. I mean, the expression, like, it don't grow on trees. Like, you got to put some effort in." "Yeah, but it does literally come from the trees." "Yeah, well, some of it comes from the ground." "He's right, you know, some of it does come from the ground." All right. You got to work to get some of this food. It does grow on trees and in the ground, but you still got to work for it, all right?
Yeah, of course. Anything for some of the rations, and it's only fair that I do my share.
And you can tell that to all the rest of them newcomers as well. And he hands you a very small parcel with some potatoes and some vegetables in it.
Could I buy any additional rations of you guys?
Maybe. How much you talking?
Well, one additional package for, say, 2 gold.
What?
Make it 5 and you got a deal.
3.
4.
I can't do any more than 3. Would that be okay?
Roll persuasion, dude.
Of course. What does that say? Fuck, that's a -1. Okay,
What?
well, that's 14 in total. I was checking my modifier.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright, well, the half-orc rolled an 11, so he goes, alright then. And he takes 3 gold off you, and he gives you a very small bundle of vegetables.
That's okay, I have more food now. And I just walk off, thank you guys, and I'll just go sit at the table again, eating some of the food.
Alright, you've got like raw carrots and stuff you can chomp on as well, you little rabbit.
Yeah, that'll do.
Alrighty. Alright, so, everyone else, you have all overheard that, by the way, because they're very loud.
Yeah.
So who doesn't the bar look interesting?
Who's interesting, who's in the room?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't look like common townsfolk?
Well, in the room you've got the 3 half-orcs who are dishing out the rations.
Yeah.
You've got a few townsfolk dotted about, but not many, because it's the middle of the afternoon, most of them are still working in the fields. You've got the landlord Listor behind the bar. You've got 5 very elderly humans and 2 very old dwarves by the fire. And then you've got a drunk dude falling off his stool by the bar.
I like that guy.
You've got an impossibly thin elf stuffing his face with vegetables. You've got a human bard playing music in one corner near the elf. You've got another fucking elf. You've got a half elf. You've got another.
Elves normal in Travis.
Travis is fairly multicultural, but you especially, having travelled around it and lived there, you know that having been war-stricken for 5 years, everybody is scattered. Everybody in the country is just scattered about. It, the whole country, in fact, all of you would know this, Travis as a country is down to less than 30% of its population.
Oh, Jesus, that is not sustainable.
Most of them have fled the country, and those that are left are, there's rumours, there's bandits, there's roaming bands of people, there's black magic, there's necromancers, there's Goliath, you've heard so many rumours you don't know what's true and what's not, basically. So basically you've got a room full of old people, half-orc, grumpy people, a drunk dude, an angry dude with wine, a fuck ton of elves, and a dwarf.
Detective like this.
So take your pick, Kez. I mean, it's up to you, man.
Okay, I think I would like to gather information from the townsfolk on what's the town like and what's the situation in there, basically.
Yeah, you can do.
So yeah. So just sort of quietly talk to people, ask them about their lives, and because I heard there are some issues with food and like what's going on, sort of thing, with the administration of this town.
If you want, you can catch the guy who was talking to the half-orcs as he's about to head out the door, because he'll go past you on the way. There's another 2 people, and they're sat at the bar, so they're a bit further away. If you want, you can catch that guy before he leaves if you want.
Oh, I think I can just talk to the people who won't be bothered by.
Yeah?
Who are already in this tavern.
Yeah, that's cool. You can wander. There's only 2 townsfolk, and they're sat at the bar, unless you want to talk to the older people who are by the fire.
They look like the elders, no?
Yeah? Alright, there's 5 very old men and women. They're humans. They're very old. A lot of them are scarred, burned. There's 2 male old dwarves sat with them as well. They all look like they know each other, and they've been there for a while. A lot of them have missing fingers or limbs. They've got basically they've been through the war, and you can tell that just by looking at them, especially having lived here. They have seen the whole war in Travis and survived it. So, alright, you got 5 humans and 2 dwarves. You rock up, they're by the fire, it's nice and warm. They're all sitting in quite comfy chairs. They're all a bit ragged. The chairs are quite old and fraying, but comfy enough. And there's a couple spare if you want to sit down or just stand and speak to them. But yeah, what do you want to say?
Can I join too? I'm ready to talk to these guys. I'm drunk enough to talk to these guys now.
Roll me... Are you talking to the elders by the fire?
Yeah.
Alright, roll me a d6.
Yeah. Alright. I got a 2.
Alright. You get up and knock over your stool, and as you're trying to walk towards the elders, your foot gets caught in it and you drag the stool with you across the tavern.
Alright.
I think I might give him a hand.
So the elders all look up as this strange looking dragonborn fierce person wanders towards them, and then they hear a
Sorry. Yeah, I probably glanced back as well.
and they see a half elf with a strange drunken expression staggering towards them, dragging a bar stool with him, and you then notice a
I raise an eyebrow.
you then notice a creaking sound as another half elf helps him at the elbow out of the stool. Does that mean, Belgarath, you're also coming to speak to the elders as well?
Well, I'm not that keen on just talking to the elders, but as a fellow half-elf, I feel it's my duty to help one of my people in distress. So if he's got his foot caught in the bottom stool, I'll give him a hand with that.
I in distress, Mike. I'm making my way over to this lot.
You got your foot stuck in the bar stool, my lad.
It's wine.
Well, even so, I'll give you a hand over, and it'll make things easier for you.
All right, I accept the help because I'm drunk.
All right.
I asked the elders, is this normal here?
They look at you, and one of them says, "What? Him? The drunk one? Nah, he's only been here 24 hours. I think he's been drunk the entire time, though."
Thank you for the information.
That's good information to have.
Belgarath, you're stood close enough that you can hear this. Pug, you're close enough. You're now leaning on the back of one of their chairs. The elderly man has noticed you and is gripping the arms of his chair tightly with his feet very firmly on the floor. Well, one foot very firmly on the floor. The other one has no foot, it's just a stump. And he's holding very tightly, trying to make sure you don't bring his chair down as well.
Is there another chair at this table that I can stumble into?
There's no table, they're all comfy chairs around the fire, but there is another one if you want to sit in it.
Alright, I'm gonna sit down.
Roll me a d6.
Oh god.
I got 5.
5?
Yeah.
Alright, you sit down in the chair, it rocks a little bit, but it steadies itself.
Alright, and I say, alright, what do you lot want with Mike?
They look at you and raise another eyebrow and go, "What do we want with you? What do you mean?"
Everybody's been putting me to talk to you, so what do you want?
Oh, you're new in town, aren't you?
I'm actually interested now. I'm going to be standing here and just watching what happens next.
Alright, Cass, are you still there as well?
Yeah, I'm just standing there, just a little bit back, a little bit away from these strange people.
Alright. They say to you, "Well, everyone who comes in here has to come and talk to us, because, you know, we don't run this town or nothing, but we got to take care of everybody, and, you know, it's we've got new people coming in, and, I mean, look around, there's like 5, 6 of you, and, you know, basically, and another one of the dwarves says, basically, we're not very sure that it's a very good idea for anyone to leave. What?
Nothing at all.
Says the Irish guy.
Do you got a problem with the Irish accent?
No, it's great. Basically, so, we don't think it's a very good idea for anyone to leave and venture out into the rest of Travis because, well, quite frankly, we've been there and we've seen it and, well, look at us. It's just not safe and we want to make sure everyone's taken care of, so you're more than welcome to stay here and be with us, but unless we think you're extra specially extraordinary and could fend for yourselves, we want everyone to come because we have to speak to you all and let you know that basically you're not going anywhere beyond this point. We can't.
Are you imprisoning people here?
Well, I wouldn't say it was imprisoning, my dear, says one of the old human females. She says, you're perfectly welcome to come and go as you please. We recommend nobody goes further into Travis. You can go back where you came over the land bridge, but us, and then of course, and she gestures over at the corner where the half-orcs are, you must have seen all those big buggers wandering around town. As soon as they showed up, the perimeter's pretty much sealed. Good luck if you want to get past them.
So you are, not yourself, but there are people here who are keeping newcomers inside this town.
So the half-orcs are keeping us here?
Well, they're keeping us safe. It was them who organised the curfew and things. We were having people...
curfew?
Well, we were having people come and go, but strongly advising them not to because no one was coming back. You've got to understand, it's heartbreaking.
Alright, nobody is going to keep me in one place. And I try to intimidate them. Nobody's going to tell me to stay here. You can't keep me here. I'm going to roll intimidation.
With disadvantage.
Okay, I guess.
Dude, you're drunk. They just watched you step into a stool.
I got a 3 and a 17. So 3 plus intimidation. Intimidation. Great. I got 8 intimidation.
Oh, that's just not going to be very intimidating, is it?
No, you're very drunk. So, what you're saying is this town was taken over by... Sorry?
Sorry, I said the lowest any of them rolled was a 12, so yeah, they're not intimidated by you, dude.
So you're saying this town was taken over by a group of half-orcs who are keeping all the residents within the premises?
Well, I wouldn't put it quite like that, dearie. We're all perfectly happy here. As happy as you can be in a place like this. Most people fled the country, but I just don't have it in me to leave. I was born here, I fought here. This is as far away from home as I can go. And, it's pretty far. We're, right on the coast's edge. It's just, we're not trying to be mean or anything, dear, but we just can't bear to see anyone else venture out and get killed,
So how about these people?
Oh, you mean those half-orc people?
Wait, the half-orcs are killing people?
Oh no, they're not killing people, my dear. It's the rest of bloody Travis that's killing people. There was a 5-year war and it feels like it's still bloody going on. The land's gone to shit. There's barbarians roaming around. There's bandits everywhere. Everyone's out for themselves. It's just lucky we got this place set up. We've got farmland here. it's not great. We've had to sort of work as we go, but, over the last year, it's got better.
It's really lucky you have this place set up. Wouldn't it be terrible if something happened to it?
If that's a threat, you're going to have to roll intimidation.
I'm with her. It'd be terrible if something happened.
very far.
One of them looks at you, Pug, and just goes, "My dear, I think you've had a bit too much to drink to do that sort of talk."
Oh, sorry.
I'll be looking at the Dragon
with
Ball.
my fists, if you like.
I'm sorry, dude, they're not scared of you right now.
I'll be looking at the Dragon Ball and saying, basically, it sounds to me like you're intimidated. You're trying to threaten these poor people.
They are intimidated, and they say, "Oh, why don't they say? Look, we're just trying to do what's best for people. We're not keeping people here. We're just saying, please, you know, we can't in good conscience say, oh yes, trot along. I mean, to get into Travis in the first place, you've got to go through the wood pass, and that's full of all sorts of dangers. And then beyond that, I mean, just look outside."
I'm just making polite conversation here. Just, you know, saying that it's such a lovely place. It would be terrible if something happened to it.
And they all sort of fall silent and nod and go, "Look." And one of the elder dwarfs says, look, I think you're taking it up with the wrong person here. Like, we don't have a problem. We're just trying to make sure everyone's safe and all right. I think, you know, if you really want to pick a bone, you should probably talk to, you know, the half-orcs.
Could I interject and say that I'm also looking to leave the city, and if anyone's looking to leave the city, I'm happy to team up with someone.
Is anybody interested in that?
Wait, who was this? Just out of
Kiara, I've been sat in the corner, sort of just observing.
There's a dwarf sat in the corner.
I think I would like to find out more about this city before I leave. Like, for example, the leader of the half-orcs.
If you're looking for their leader, you're looking for the biggest one. You can't miss him. He's called Bainim, and well, you can't miss him. I'll put it like that. Now, if you haven't got anything else constructive to say, my dear, and I'm afraid it doesn't sound like you do, you're sort of blocking our heat over here.
I'm terribly sorry about that.
That's all right, thank you.
And I keep standing there.
So Pug gets up and he's like, I'm ready to go. I ain't staying here no longer. Where's that dwarf? And he points to Kira? Kira, yeah. Points to you. Let's go.
So, are the two of you gonna literally head out of the tavern and try and leave?
So
I'm quite interested into what Kess is actually doing.
Yeah, I would like to find this orc leader.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I would like to leave, the fact that she's mentioned that there may be a leader has kind of interested me into something.
There's always a leader.
This sounds like an idea.
Alright, anyone who has been here for longer than 4 days, can you please roll me a d20 with your... with your perception?
Isn't this
So,
okay.
Oh, hang on, clock.
Oh no.
16 plus 10.
Alright, it's a 4 for Kiara, a 24 for Varric, 19 for Enna, and 18 for Belgarath. And I'm going to say that Arissa gets 24 as well because she's been here the same amount of time as Varric. Okay. Varric, Arissa, Enna, and Belgarath. You overheard what they were saying, and as soon as you heard her say that the leader is easy to spot, you instantly thought of a half-orc that you've seen strolling around the fields wearing... And you remember him because it looked very odd. He had dark green skin and the horns and the tusks and everything, but he was wearing a feathered cap and a big rich red fancy cloak, like a big coat with like brocade and buttons down it. And it was very odd. The sleeves had been ripped off because his massive arms didn't fit through them. And you instantly think, that must be the guy.
Okay, maybe I should. I think as I'm in the vicinity, I should probably tell Kes about this.
Alright.
Okay, so, excuse me, madam.
Yes.
Couldn't help but overhear the conversation you were having there. And I think I might have an idea of who it is you might want to be talking to.
So, would you mind telling me some information so I can find them?
Well, I mean, I could take you to him. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where he might be.
That's a very nice offer. Might as well see and...
Very well. Follow me.
I follow him.
Okay. Given that I've been here for 5 days, I'm guessing I probably know where roughly he might be.
You don't know where he is. You know where you...
Oh, poor DM.
You know where you've seen him, and you know what he looks like. So who else was following these guys?
Well, I think I overheard them, considering it's one tavern and all. I take Arissa and go, should we see what's going to happen there? Might be more exciting than this dead tavern.
And because...
Yeah, I walk over and I say, I know exactly who you're talking about. I want to go find this guy.
Alright.
Yeah,
Let's all go!
And whatever Pug wants to do, because obviously he's come over to me and spoken to me.
Alright. I'm gonna walk up to say, hey, you guys are looking for the orc in charge. Alright, I'll go punch his face with you.
Sweet.
Outstanding. That sounds like a good plan.
Alright. So, those
I'm
of
sure he
you...
will appreciate it.
Those of you who... Those of you who remember, you describe this guy to everyone else. And now that you all know what you're looking for, and I'm going to take the initiative and say that Arissa goes, yeah, sure, and stops playing and wanders with you, because she is AFK right now. Can everyone please roll me a d20 with perception?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I rolled the exact same as last time, so another 20.
I got 7.
Yeah, 6.
Oh, come on, Pug.
I'm drunk. I'm not very perceptive right now.
Pug is drunkenly letting the side down.
Wow, this is fucking appalling.
Oh, no, I'm actually sorry.
Oh, that's better. 4 to a 5. It's amazing.
That's it.
Oh, that makes all the difference. That makes all the difference.
I forgot my modifier. It's very important.
Well, to be fair,
I will actually make the check.
because
I've
this...
got a 7 and he's yet the most perceptive person here. We're all...
I have a 24.
Oh, yeah, I have
We
14.
have Varric and
Yeah, Varric and Anna.
yeah.
Alright.
So there's somebody looking out for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's a big enough group that we can't all screw up.
I'm a stealthy pair of eyes so far.
To be fair, because from what the people described, he's fairly recognisable. Kiara, Enna, and Varric, you spot him after a while, and the others, it doesn't take you too long either. He is fairly recognisable. However, you all exit the tavern, the Red Holly, and you walk down the main street, looking around as you go. Those of you who've been here for a while, you recognise the familiar sight of several groups of half-orcs roaming around together. They're not roaming near the port, they're roaming the other side of the town, which is where the wood pass is. They're all roaming around there. There's around 12 of them in total, and they're patrolling the perimeter.
By the way, while we are walking, I ask, so, who are all of you here?
My God, that's a very good question. You don't say.
Roleplay, guys.
Well, I'm very glad you asked. My name is Belgarath, and I'm actually visiting here from my home village.
Which is on which continent?
Oh, it's on the land bridge.
I see. Anyone else cares to introduce themselves?
Or, Pug. I'm from, the place from the elves.
Risha.
What's it called?
Risha.
Risha. I'm from Risha.
Oh, really? My mother's from there.
Yeah, I probably fucked her. I'm looking for magical artifacts, right? Make me stronger.
I see.
Make you stronger? In what way? Are you
I got a whole mafia to take on. I need things to get me stronger.
You have a mafia to take on.
A whole mafia to take on. And he's only saying this because he's strong.
Yeah. So are you pursued by a group of people?
I mean, everyone wants a piece of me.
Well, I don't. I'm just saying. Just want to say that's it. You say everyone, but I'm good. Quite honestly, I'm good with that piece.
Mate.
To be honest, I think I'm fine as well. Thank you.
Yeah, for now I'm fine as well.
I mean, as long as you're going to help us.
Anyway, outside of my pugilistic countrymen here, who else fancies telling us who they are?
The DM is also fine, thank you.
Name's Varric. I'm from Risha. I used to hunt there, and now I'm roaming the lands of, well, the continent.
Sweet. I'm Kiara. I'm originally from Amley, but I came over at a very young age, and I've been sort of travelling Trevis, Boston since then. Ended up here, and now I can't leave. So.
Well, you appear to be in the same boat as the rest of us on that.
Yes.
Very unfortunately.
And the rest of you?
I am Enna. I am also from Risha, like all you fellow adventurers. My parents were artisans, so I travelled around trading and ended up here. Fabulous.
And now I can't leave.
And now we can't leave.
Trapped forever.
All these travellers getting trapped in Trevis. Quite interesting. I have myself.
Alright, Scales, what about you? Where are you from?
I hedged in Trevis.
That's it.
And then I grew up in Trevis.
So you've never left here?
I've not left the continent, no.
You're not missing much.
Just
Except
as
for the beautiful forests of Risha, of course.
I think I will be fine.
Forests of Risha are overrated.
Well, Trevis had its own beauties as well. I've travelled a little bit of it.
Oh, sure, if you like the war-torn castles or the war-torn villages, or hey, the war-torn countryside.
Exactly. All the dangers that could kill you any moment.
alright. Just as
Very exciting.
you guys are walking along, I'm going to say, those of you who've been in Trevis for a long time, this is nothing unusual. Those of you who have just come over on the land bridge or from wherever you've come from, this is, you keep noticing it every time you step outside, and it's alarming. The skies are always grey and cloudy. There is a storm raging off some miles in the distance. Thunder rumbles constantly, like a low humming, and lightning flashes in red cracks across the sky. I'm also sending a picture of what the town looks like from the outside.
Oh, the weather is nice today. We are lucky.
This is normal in Travis set.
This is a good weather day, isn't it?
Oh gosh.
You can just about see the sun today. It's great weather.
So the countries like this is where they have the good stuff.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
The good artifacts, mate.
Oh, I see.
Certainly.
Right.
Certainly, you can go searching and find quite a few interesting things.
Right.
Are you a treasure hunter as well then, Dragon Ball?
Not quite a treasure hunter, but there are some things that I collect.
Such as what?
And why should I tell you?
Well, I'm just asking as a way of making conversation. You don't have to tell me anything.
Then I choose not to.
That's your
Oh,
prerogative.
snap.
I'm following far behind, like ignoring everything and trying to stay out of trouble.
Tess, was it, right?
Yes, that's right.
Earlier, you were talking about the dangers that could kill you at any moment. Are there any good creatures to hunt out in the wilds?
There are many creatures that could hunt you. Whether you can hunt them is another question. There are certainly a lot of very unusual things, as far as I can tell.
Oh, such as what?
Out of character, Rosie?
What in particular are you wanting to double check?
What sort of creature? Are we full of monsters?
I mean, there's gotta be like basilisks and dragons and stuff. We're playing D&D.
Here's where it turns out there's like no big monsters in Travis at all, and Kes is talking over us.
Okay.
In terms of what you would tell other people and what you would know about, I would say all you would say right now, especially because you've only just met them, is some are great and some are small. All could kill you. This land is dangerous. You don't need to repeat that, just assume that's what she said.
Yeah, no, cool.
Well, I mean, I told you that.
Yeah, I could have assumed that.
Okay, fine. I can make a better one. Okay. So, there are spiders the size of small huts. And if you're interested in the furry things, what was it?
Yes.
Wolves? Yeah, we have these infected wolves that they were cursed a long time ago, and yeah, I think they're quite good for some alchemical ingredients. But with a single bite, they can poison you, and you will die in horrible pain.
Oh, I'll be steering clear of them then.
That's good to be aware of.
Oh, and we have a couple of these butterflies. They're quite small and black. And as soon as they latch on to you, they will try to feed your blood. Not sure you want to hunt them.
Well, I mean, that doesn't seem too bad. I mean, how much blood can a butterfly eat?
Well, how much can 1,000 eat?
Ah, that's a good point.
They quite like to be near battlefields.
I immediately turn to Elisa and look sternly, saying, "Don't touch them."
Boy, they got dragons here.
Perhaps.
I hear dragons like to hoard things, like coins and artifacts and stuff. Let's find us one of those.
Are you planning on punching a dragon?
Yes. Well, you think I can't punch a dragon?
To that, please.
No, I'm very happy to help you get there as long as you pay in advance.
Why pay in advance when you can just read it off of him afterwards?
Not once the dragon has eaten him.
That's a good point.
Pay you to watch me fight a dragon. You should be paying for the pleasure.
I will pay for the pleasure. As long as I can get it. As long as I can get a refund.
Tickets
I mean, that's fine. I'm happy to take you to a dragon, but I won't be going too close. And as I said, I require payment in advance. As for what you do with the dragon, up to you.
It's big. I can find it myself.
What was that half-orc? What did he look like, did you say?
You know, I've completely forgotten. So long now. I do not remember.
He was a dark green skin.
Dark green skin.
He had a red coat on.
A coat.
Didn't he have sort of like a hat with a feather or something?
He's wearing sleeveless something. Something sleeveless.
Has anyone seen anyone that looks like that?
Yes, we spotted him earlier.
You know what?
Well, wait, did we spot him earlier? Why haven't we gone up to him?
Because someone was making small talk.
Yeah, I mean, not that I'm interested in us getting to know each other, but...
Okay, so how about we talk to this orc? Anyone knows his name before we go in?
You do know his name, a couple of you. You know, and the lady also told you. His name is Bainem.
How do I write that? Baynem. I've spelled it for you.
Ah, yeah.
And you're currently walking through the town looking for him. You have, those of you who've been here for a while, you know where you've seen him before. You've seen him patrolling the town with the other half-orcs, and you've seen him patrolling the fields, seeing what the workers are doing.
Okay.
So can we find him in any of these places?
You can do. Well, you've already rolled and successfully you've spotted what you think is him in the distance, and you're heading that way. You can see the shape of who you think is him in one of the fields, actually. There is around, in fact, you can tell from here, there's 20 fields. They've all been sort of cobbled together. A few of them were there before, but they've all been ramshackled and added together fairly recently. They've all got a fairly shabby scarecrow in the top corner, and they're not quite square shaped. They're sort of all rectangular, odd shaped, just so they'd fit all around the edge of the town. The villagers and the townsfolk are currently mostly all working in there, all wrapped in very thick winter cloaks. A couple of the half-orcs are patrolling around, and you can see one particularly large one in a big red sweeping coat and a feathered hat, who is swanning around at the top of one of the further fields. You can head up through the field towards him if you want.
Okay.
So yeah, let's head straight for him.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got things to say to him.
Okay.
And I would like to see them say those things.
Alright. This is a picture of Bainem. Unfortunately, the screenshot took most of the hat off, so I've just cut it. But he is wearing a feathered cap as well. And the coat is a fancy human coat that he's clearly stolen.
Ooh.
I can take him.
Okay.
He is a 6'8" half-orc. He carries a whip in one hand and a massive hammer in the belt loop of his belt.
I've seen bigger.
Oh, good day to you.
As you head on up through the fields, you can hear shouting as you are getting up to reach him. He's in the top corner and he's shouting at a human man who's nearby. and you can hear, catching on the wind as you're walking up, you can hear, slacking, you think I can't see you because you're up over here? Well, I can. Get back to work. And he gets out his whip and he whips the ground right near the toe of the human man, who scurries away and starts joining in with a row of people who are raking the soil nearby.
Alright.
Oh, can we walk up to him and say anything?
I'm going to be letting the Dragonborn take the lead on this one because he's a half-orc and he's probably going to be more likely intimidated by a big dragony-looking person.
Shove the drunk half-orc up the front.
I'm going to stand
Am I sobered up enough that I can make intimidation checks with advantage?
Not with
advantage?
advantage. Not with advantage, no.
Just normally.
You're out in the fresh air though, so you don't have to roll them with disadvantage. Alright, so...
I'm walking up to him to talk to him.
Alright, as you walk up to him, he is surveying over the rest of the fields, and he is as tall as the hanging scarecrow behind him. And you, even you notice he is a very tall and powerful half-orc. Alright, what you gonna say?
Oh, I see you're a successful businessman. Can we talk about some sort of problems that we are having in this city that we might come out of a bit more beneficial for everyone?
You saying you got a problem?
Well, I just arrived in this town and I was told it's impossible to leave.
You heard right.
So how can we find a way to leave?
Sorry, say that again. I heard 3 people.
No.
I just said, and why is it that we're not allowed to leave?
Didn't you have that explained to you by the elder folks?
Well, not particularly well, no.
Well, what do you expect from older people anyways? You can't leave because it's fucking dangerous, alright?
But why is it dangerous? That's the part that we're not quite clear on.
Have you even been in Travis before, little man?
Well, not for long, admittedly, but I dare say that myself and my fellows here are capable of taking care of ourselves, depending on what it is out there. I mean, if we had a better idea of what it was out there that is so dangerous, we might have a better idea of what it is that is so dangerous that even ourselves wouldn't be able to take it on.
I've been travelling for the last 4-5 years. I know exactly what the trouble is. How can I not leave now when I've been through it?
Because you're freaking lucky to have got this far, you ask me. Them elders want to keep people here for their good conscience and their sweet thinking. I want to keep people here because it's the best place for you to be. There's work to be done, and you guys, and he points at those of you who've been here for a few days, you've been seen around and you ain't helped with nothing, and you've been eating our rations. Everyone here is pitching in and helping out, and then they get some of the food. Why do you get to stay here and eat our food after those kind old folks say they want to keep you safe?
So how about we find some sort of way to benefit you without us toiling the fields? I'm sure we all have skills that could be much better suited for other things.
Or how about we just leave and we just don't take up any of your rations anymore?
I agree with Belgrade.
Yeah,
Yes.
Belgrade, yeah.
How about we leave when we don't punch you in the face?
Yeah.
He does not speak for us.
Belgarath.
I mean, I would turn a blind eye to Pug, but yeah.
Belgarath, roll a persuasion and roll it with disadvantage, man.
Disadvantage?
Yeah, sorry, Pug spoke.
Well done.
God damn it! I've got a seriously high persuasion modifier, and you just took that away from me.
He's just testing you to see how good you are at persuasion.
Christ. 5. It's not good, guys.
Not very persuasive.
Oh.
Can I roll persuasion for my thing? Because I was kind of trying to persuade him of a very, very different thing.
Sure.
So that's 20, not natural. Yeah, not natural.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm really sorry, guys. Against Belgarath, he rolled an 18, and he rolled a nat 20 against you, Kes.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
He looks even taller, if anything, right now. And he looks down and he goes, I'm not saying it again. You want to leave? Go back where you came from if you can. You ain't getting past us. And the elders have decided that you don't leave because they want to be nice. I'm saying you don't leave because you could do some fucking work and have a place to be. Now.
Okay, so I'm going to not like cast a spell, but I'm just going to conjure a fireball in my hand.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I prepare to attack him with my hand axes?
Yeah.
I want to crack my knuckles.
I'm saying
Yeah.
I think I'm speaking while they're doing this and saying, oh, you see, we realize you have a very nicely working system here of exploiting all these farmers. I'm sure you can continue to do this for a very long and profitable time if you let us go now.
You won't be profiteering off of anyone if there isn't a village anymore. Say, I'm not saying myself, but say someone were to burn this village to the ground.
That would be really unfortunate if it were to happen, wouldn't it?
And you'd all burn all them sweet townsfolk and do that, would you?
Oh no, all the townsfolk are in the fields over here. I'm talking about the houses.
And where do you think all these lovely people are going to live after you've burned all their town down to get to me?
Is that any of our problem?
They'll rebuild. People like this always do. They're actually quite good at building because they work for their living, whereas people like you wouldn't really have anything to do with them because they'd all be building their homes again, and you'd just be here being useless.
Belgarath, roll me a d20.
I have a plug, so.
I think this is intimidation now.
I got a 15.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Oh, come on!
He steps
But he's getting help, though. He should have advantage.
He steps towards you, and
You're using a loaded D20, aren't you, Rosie?
he rolled an 18. I'm sorry, I've got 5 of the buggers. He steps.
I've got like 6 people with me.
No, 5 dice.
Alright, okay.
He steps towards you, Belgarath, as you're speaking, and he goes to put his hand around your throat, but he stops himself. And he says, you think I do nothing for these people?
Yes.
He doesn't speak for all of us.
He looks at you, Cass, and he goes, good. And he turns back to Belgarath, and he says, you wouldn't know nothing if it was right at the end of your nose, sunshine.
Well, I think I would, because nothing is right at the end of my nose right now.
Alright, roll initiative.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get to fight him now? Awesome.
Yeah. You can imagine Thomas going straight in his face.
Oh wait, are we all rolling? Sorry.
Anyone who wants to, yeah.
Yeah, I want to. Sweet.
Right, I got a 19.
19.
Wait, so do we roll a d?
D20.
D20 and then add your Dex initiative. Dex modifier, sorry.
Oh, then I get 15. Sorry.
That's alright.
So that's
Alright. That's everybody. Hang on.
oh.
Oh, and
Yeah, sorry, I got a shit number.
That's okay. Alright, so 1 2 3 4 5.
Please let me go first. I've got such a funny opening move.
Well, Varric outrolled you, unfortunately, but Belgarath, you actually he outrolled both of you guys. So
Fuck's sake.
sorry, man.
Swear to God, loaded dice. I'm
Sorry.
calling loaded dice here.
Or his high level.
What the heck was his initiative?
It was higher.
Oh, shit.
It was higher than 23. Sorry.
gosh.
I think my luck will run out soon. Don't worry. The initiative order is going to be Varric, Belgarath, Pug, Kiara, Kaz, Enna. All right. I will tell you when it's your go. Okay. However, Varric, Bainham does get to go before you. Sorry. Belgarath, because you were the one who was being horrible to him, and this is what starts everything. He punches you on the nose.
Okay.
But because he's not trying to actually, he's just annoyed. He's not trying to actually kill you. It only does.
Right.
It only does 3 points of damage. He goes to full on punch you, like he went to grab your throat, but he stops himself and he just catches your nose. Like it feels like it's out of place, but it's not broken.
Right. So do I lose 3 hit points then?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right. And then Varric, you get a turn now.
I'm actually debating if I should.
You can hold
You
your
can
action.
hold your action if you want.
I think I'll wait for now.
All right. Varric's holding his action. All right, Belgarath, it's your go.
Well, in response to the punching on the nose, given that I already have a fireball conjured in my hands, I'm going to be using my. Hang on, scrolling down. I'm going to be using my firebolts. Firebolt cantrip.
Alrighty. Roll your
Okay,
damage.
so that's. Sorry?
Roll your damage.
Roll my damage. Okay, 1 second.
Sorry.
Right, it's 7.
-7. Alright.
And if he's got anything flammable on him, then it's on fire.
The collar of the very fancy robe he's wearing catches alight, and he sort of smacks himself to put the fire out with his very big hand.
Isn't his cap made of feathers?
Yeah. Were you aiming at his head or his chest?
I guess because I had it in my hands and he punched me, kind of taking me off guard, I'd probably catch me more in the chest.
Alright, then his feathers are fine. Sorry, Varric. Alright. Do you want to have a bonus action or is that your turn?
Let me see what else I can do.
If you have things that can take a bonus action, otherwise, not a problem.
Yeah,
Probably not.
no. Oh no, all my other spells are 1 action, so never mind.
No, that's fine. Alright, so next up we have Pug.
Awesome. Run up and punch him in the face.
Oh my god, this is going to be funny.
I got 9. 14.
14, just for a punching attack. Okay. Yeah, that hits. Sure, that hits. Only just, though. Only just. You needed a 14.
Okay. So that's just enough to punch him. 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay.
Alright. I think I have to punch him again.
Go on then.
Excellent.
18, 19, 23.
Alright.
Punch uses double slap. It's super effective.
The 1-2 punch, and this one is 8 damage.
8. Alright. Because you're a half elf, you're still not as tall as him, so you're basically punching him in his pecs.
Kidney shot. Go for the kidneys. Work the kidneys.
I can bruise his pecs, it's fine.
Well, unless you want to aim for somewhere specific.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna punch his dick.
You're gonna punch his dick.
Yes.
Do it.
Alright. You're met by a very solid hunk of man meat, which actually, in the heat of the moment,
your poor wife.
in the heat of the moment, you cannot help but express in the back of your mind a great desire that this was in fact your man meat, because it is the length of your forearm.
Wow.
How can you feel that from a punch?
He's a good puncher.
Yeah.
I've been fighting for my things.
He takes a couple of steps backwards and sort of.
Just punch me in the dick.
Yeah, I want some more.
Alright, and as you're drunkenly standing there, it's Kiara's go.
Okay, so I want to attack for my battle axe.
Yeah, huh?
So would I roll a d20 for that?
Roll the d20 to see if you attack, yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if it has any. If it has a modifier for your d20 rolling, then double check that, but it might not.
I have proficiency in battle axe, so I think there's a +2.
Yeah, then you add that, and you also add it to your damage if you manage to hit. So yeah, what did you roll for your?
I got 10,
So,
but then as the proficiency bonus, I got 12.
oh, that'll just miss. So as you swing it at him, he's still staggering backwards and going "Ooh!" from being punched in the very large dick. So you've just missed him, but you're ready. You're ready for a second attack. In fact, I'll let you have a bonus action if you want. If you want to try again.
Okay, is that another d20?
Yeah, same again.
Oh, I did a stupid.
Wait, I got a 5.
All right, you swung at him the first time and he stepped backwards and avoided it almost by accident. The second time you lift it up and you think better of it and hold it and get ready to take a proper swing, ready for next time. And it's Kess's go.
Yeah. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Alright, so Cass, what are you doing?
Okay. So I will use chill touch to conjure up a ghostly skeletal hand that is just grabbing onto the neck of Bainam, and also does 4 points of necrotic damage.
That was 4, right?
Yeah, 4 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah.
And then I say, you see, it's quite difficult to control some of these people. Maybe it would be less trouble if you just let us go.
Alright. And Anna, what are you doing?
Is he showing any reaction to it? Because if not, I have a bonus action thing.
He's listening to you, but he's also... Roll perception.
Okay. So that's 15. 15 for perception.
15. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
You notice that he, with his free hand, has stuck it up in the air, so it stands at about 8 feet tall, and is making a gesture.
Oh, I see. Okay, and then I also cast Hex,
Okay.
which is a bonus action.
Yep.
So it places a curse on a person.
Alright, what curse?
So basically, until the spell ends, I just deal extra damage to it. And I have to pick an ability. So if I pick an ability, it will have disadvantage on ability checks on it.
Cool.
And that will be. Oh, I have. Which ability should I pick? I guess I will pick strength for now.
Good idea.
No. Yeah.
Good idea. Alright, is that the end of your bonus as well?
That's all the bonus action I had.
Alright, cool.
So,
And
yeah.
Anna, you're next.
I am going to use a cantrip, poison spray, in his. Well, I'm going to jump up and spray in his face.
Oh, are you going to bounce? Alrighty, roll your damage.
Okay. Ten.
10? Awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, is that the end of your action?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Then it's his go again. And he's making a gesture with his free hand. And he now accentuates it and makes it big for his first part of his action. And you hear a sort of galumphing do-do-do-do-do-do noise. And up behind you appear 5 other half-orcs.
You knew that was going to happen.
Take them.
We can take him.
Sure you can. Sure, yeah, totally. Alright, guys. And for his action, he's going to... Did you say you had him around the neck, Kes?
Sorry?
Did you say you had him... Was it wrapped around his neck?
It was. I think that was just for the attack that he felt the touch of the grave. So it's just the chill touch creates a ghostly skeletal hand, and I can make an attack with it, and that gives like the chill of the grave to the person.
So he's
So
gonna...
I don't think it's there anymore.
No, I was gonna say he sort of like scrabbles at his neck, checking that it's all gone, and he's not gonna be able to take an attack, but he's pulling out his whip and he's ready. He's got it swung back and he's ready to attack on his next go.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, I don't. I'm not particularly close to him because I don't need to be for any of these.
No, that's all right. Alright, we've got... I'm just adding in the other half-orcs initiative. We've got 1. We've got 2. We've got...
Oh, yes. So basically the hand was clinging to him for a full round, actually. So it's still clinging to him, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. He's just going to make a swipe at it, but it doesn't do anything this round because he was too distracted by trying to get his whip out with the other one.
Okay, that's fine.
And yeah, you've now got 5 orcs approaching behind you, and none of them get a go yet. So we're on to Belgorod. Varric. We're on Varric again.
Okay, so seeing as they have attacked him several times, behind me, I'm spinning around and shooting an arrow at the closest orc.
Alrighty, roll for your attack.
Okay. That will be a natural 20.
Ooh.
That's critical.
Yes.
Well done.
Nice.
So roll your damage.
Did I add anything to that? No, right? It was just 1d8 for my bow.
I'm playing around with what I want to do for criticals, and I think I might say that for a critical, you can roll a second, whatever your D is. Well, you're rolling a D8.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll it twice.
That's 6 and 7. So that's
It should be twice his strength as well. I mean, dexterity.
Yeah, plus all your things you add normally. Just do an extra dice roll.
Wait, so it's 1d8 plus my dexterity modifier plus proficiency?
Should be, unless it says different on the sheet.
I like this. Okay, that's for the first die. That's 13, and for the second one that's 12. So 25.
25. Alright. That's all added together with the double, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. That guy, where were you aiming your arrow at him?
Chest.
Alright. You
Just
hit him.
spinning around and shooting, trying to hit him no matter where.
You hit him
I'd say
square.
maybe we try and keep him alive so that we can question him after we've defeated him.
You can't say this now.
Oh, yeah.
We're in a battle situation. He chooses whatever he does.
The arrow already is underway. I'm sorry.
You
I
hit
only
him.
said to try.
You hit him square in the chest, and he starts gushing blood, and he sort of clutches his chest and like falls on one knee, but is sort of trying to hobble onwards. There's 4 more behind him though.
Okay, I'd like to just poke him in the forehead with my quarterstaff and just hold my boot against his throat and then just look meaningfully at the other guys while conjuring a frostbolt in my hand.
Is this the same one who Varric just hit? Yes.
Sorry?
Is this the same one that Varric just hit?
Hang on, I think I might have missed something here. I was away for a little bit. What just happened? I thought there was only one of them.
No,
No.
he got 5 of his friends.
Oh, right, what happened to the original one?
He's still there. He's sort of in a struggle with Kess. There's one that's dropped to his knees after Varric hit him.
Right, okay, and in that case, the one who's on his knees, I'll just, he's the one I'll sort of conjure another firebolt over and look meaningfully at his buddies as if to say, stop right now or I'll blow his head off.
Alright, so you're holding the action and doing that. Okay. It's Pug's go. They can't do anything yet.
Alright, I'm gonna run up to one of the other ones.
Okay.
So there's 2 of them are being dealt with. There's 3 more that are not being dealt with. I'm gonna go deal with one of
4 more that aren't being dealt with.
No, there's 4 of them who are not.
4 more not being dealt with.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about we all
I'm gonna go deal with one of them.
How about we all just hold off a second and then everyone just calm down a second.
It's an in character.
Yeah.
There are like 5 orcs coming towards us.
Pug, are you listening to
4
this?
now.
I'm not smart enough for that, dude.
And he's drunk.
Yeah, and I'm drunk. I'm gonna go after. I'm still gonna go after a new guy. Go after a new guy.
Alright. What are you
I'm gonna run
gonna
up to
do?
him.
I'm
I'm gonna run up to him and punch him.
Alright,
Do what I do best.
roll your attack.
I got 11 plus 16.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Oh, I got 9 damage.
Alright. Do you wanna do your second attack?
Yeah, doing my second attack on him. 12 plus that's 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Awesome. And this one's only got 6 damage.
Okay. Alright. Where are you punching him?
Was he riding a horse or something?
No.
They're just walking there.
All right, so I was running up to him, so I'm gonna run, jump, and then kind of like smack his face.
Alright, you smack the massive half-orc across both cheeks, and he's a bit dazed, but he's sort of breathing heavily, and once you land in front of him, he's looking down at you with a look on his face.
That's okay.
Orc Vader, we meet again.
And actually, it's now that orc's go.
Awesome.
So,
Bring it.
So, what is your AC, Pug?
My AC is 14.
Ah, no, that doesn't hit.
Awesome.
He went for a headbutt, but being a bit dazed and confused by this small half elf running up to him, he went to headbutt and you ducked out the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, can I take my action now then?
Yep.
Okay, I was going to go for a let's stop the violence now, but now that Pug has just, escalated the violence and just kept it going, I'm just going to, the guy who I've got my boots on his throat, I'm just going to try and basically just crack him over the head with my quarterstaff and knock him out, and then move on to the next one.
Roll an attack.
Do I need to add anything to this one?
If your quarterstaff has anything to add, such as your strength or dex, I'd expect it would be dex, but I'm not sure. It should have it written next to it.
Strength. Quarterstaff would be strength. You can't use dex with quarterstaff. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be I've got a +1 strength modifier then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't he on the ground? The big
shit,
person on the
guys. Yeah, this isn't going to go well for your orc mate, Rosie.
Okay.
I got a natural 20.
They're not my friends, guys. They're not my friends. They're my NPCs.
It's not going to go well for your NPC then, because nat 20 with a +1 strength modifier.
All right. So roll. Fucking hell.
Ow.
God damn it, Varric. So roll your damage.
Okay, that's
And
D6.
whatever dice you double it. But if you have to roll 2d6, just roll one more d6. You don't do 4, just one extra.
Yeah, no, I only get the 1d6, but I get bludgeoning and I get a +2 attack bonus by that.
Okay, and an extra 1d6 as well.
Oh wait, hang on. Sorry, what?
You have to roll 1d6 plus all the damage, right?
Okay, I've got two different things here. I've got 1d6 on the thing, but then lower down it says quarterstaff versatile 1d8. So
what it means, if you're wielding it with 2 hands, it does 1d8. If you're wielding it with 1 hand,
right.
it's 1d6.
And at the moment, because you cast a spell with your other hand, you'd be wielding it with one hand.
One-handed. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
You need a free hand for spellcasting.
Okay, so d6, rolled a 3, so I double that to get a 6, and then I +2, so it's an 8.
You don't double it, you roll another d6.
Oh, right, okay.
That's what your critical does. That's what I've decided, anyway.
Well, I got a 3 on that one anyway, so it's still 8.
Okay. And you're going for that guy, so let me just do a quick calculation. You're going for the guy that you had your foot on his neck, the same one, right?
Yeah, the one who Varric shot.
Yep, not a problem.
Right. Varric shot a different guy.
No, he went for the same guy. He's looking very ropey. He's now on the floor after you've cracked him round the head, and he's sort of making a gargling noise, but he's sort of reaching out with a hand to try and swipe your feet.
Jesus! Oh my God! I've just been knocked out already.
Did we not do 32 points of damage? 33 points of damage so far to this one orc? Damn.
Alright, so it's now Kiara's go.
Can I just get an update on who has what damage on those orcs?
Alright, the half-orc, who is Bainham, the fancy guy that you came to speak to, he is locked in a sort of curse combat skeleton hand thing that you're not quite sure about with Kess. And
a skeleton hand is holding his neck.
Okay.
he's not looking great, but he's still holding his own. The one that Belgarath and Varric attacked is looking very bad on the floor. There's 3 who are as yet unharmed and very quickly approaching you, and there's one who's been a little bit damaged, but he's okay.
That's the one.
That's the one that Pug is punching in the face.
Right.
Can I go for one that hasn't been hit yet?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna whack him with my battle axe.
Do it. Roll your attack.
It is a 20.
Ooh, natural.
Not natural, I'm afraid. No, not that.
That's okay. It still hits, so roll your damage.
Not natural 20s are okay as well.
Damage is 1d8.
And you should have a plus with it. You should have a plus with it as well. It should be your strength or something for the weapon.
Oh, okay. 9.
9. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
9 damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
you wail on one of the half orcs and take quite a large chunk out of one of his legs. Are you gonna go again?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Do
We're gonna whack him again with battle axe for 17, and then
Yeah, that hits.
5.
Cool. Is that with your? I think is it strength with your battle axe?
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's 9 again.
Yep.
9.
That's
Yeah.
cool. -9, 18. All right, cool. That guy's looking pretty bad as well.
He's not looking happy.
He's not looking
Sweet.
happy. Essentially, he looks like a person who has had a massive chunk taken out of his leg, and then fuck it, you took a massive chunk out of the other leg.
So not happy then.
Very unhappy. He's still on his feet though. He's still making his way towards you. And now, before Kez gets another go, the orc that's behind him, who hasn't had a go yet, gets a turn, and he is closest to. Actually, he's closest to you, Kiara. So he got an 11, but your AC is 16, so he's missed you.
Yay!
And this is why you give me your character sheets, guys. Great. Alright, so he's going to take another swing. And he misses again. So he's going to go blundering past you. And you're going to step out of the way of him. And now it's Kez's go again.
Okay. So I guess I will use Eldritch Blast.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I do want to check one thing.
Yep.
So first of all, the skeletal hand will end because it's the start of my turn now.
Yeah.
And then for Hex, it says until the spell ends, I deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever I hit it with an attack. So that means even a spell attack, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I choose Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
So I can still keep a distance from him and all the other orcs and blast him. So that's going to be so that's 4 points of damage of poison. Oh, wait. Yes, 4 points of damage. And it's also, because of the curse I put on him, there is 1d6 extra necrotic.
So is that 10 total?
1d6, so that's total 6 points of damage.
Alright, total 6.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. He's pissed off. I'll leave it at that. Hey, pissed off.
Oh yeah, he's not happy. He's
pissed off.
He's a bit miffed.
Okay, the final orc and the one who Kiara hit get their goes now. And the one who hasn't hit anyone yet is gonna see Pug punching one of them in the face and attack you. He's gonna miss you on his first go. And
This guy can't hit the toffee.
He's hit you on his second go.
How much?
I'm checking now. Because he's just punching you with his fists. So he's done 5 points of damage.
I can take that.
Nice.
I feel like I'm being very nice to you guys. Alright. And then it's the turn of the one who is in front of you. So sorry, Kiara, there's one attacking you again. Which is a 17. Oh, that just hits you. Christ. And it does 3 points of damage by punching you in the side of the jaw.
Wait, who, me?
No, Kiara.
Oh, okay.
Oh. 3 was that?
Yeah, 3 in the side of the face.
Oh man.
3 to the face.
3 to the face! And Enna, it's now your go.
Okay, so there's one guy then still left standing properly, yes?
There's 2 who haven't been hit yet. 1 with major damage, and 3 who've been sort of hurt a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna go for one of the ones that have been kind of hurt.
Alrighty.
With my no idea how to pronounce this. Scimitar.
Scimitar, yeah.
Centaur.
And I'm going to go to chop off his arm.
Alright.
That's not that easy.
Roll a
I'm going to
d20.
try and chop off his arm.
Roll the
Okay, go at the
d20.
elbow. It's easier at the elbow.
Okay, I'll aim for the elbow.
Alright, roll your d20 and add any modifiers that go with the scimitar.
Okay.
I mean, if you're trying to chop it off elsewhere, you have
Oh, I
to go
got
through
20.
Was that
20.
natural 20?
Yeah.
Hey, alright. Roll your damage and do an extra dice roll of whatever your dice is.
So do I go with the higher one?
No, you add both.
Oh, 8. And then I have an attack bonus, so 9.
9. That's not bad. Alright, you chop off with fantastic precision.
Yay!
You chop this half-orc's arm off just above the elbow, and you manage to also catch it in the ribs as you go and give a good and he's gushing blood from both his ribs and from his elbow.
Fabulous. Can I hit him again?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go for the other arm.
Yes, do it.
Okay. Let's see how we go.
I'm sorry to... Yeah.
Okay, I got 14. For the...
Okay, that will just hit. Like, just. What are you gonna do?
I'm going for the other elbow.
Alrighty, roll your damage on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So you go for the other arm, feeling really sort of, yeah, fuck it, yeah. You're sort of harnessing Pug right now, and you swing into the other arm, but you catch right on the elbow bone, and you do feel a bit of a as you get stuck halfway through the bone. You have caused damage though, like the lower half of his arm is sort of hanging in a really awkward broken position, but you're now stuck, your blade is stuck and you have to pull it to get it back out again.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to have a go here, or will I swing again?
I'm still waiting on my guys.
That'll be the end of your bonus action, so we'll be back to Bainham, actually. And
yeah, so he's still not reconsidering.
he
Stop the madness!
He says to all of you in a very loud voice, he says, "You guys don't know what you're doing." And he's going to take...
Careful there, your accent is slipping.
And he's going to take a 211 NPCs, bitch. 211.
Are you sure you want to already antagonize all of them?
Absolutely, that's exactly the kind of person I am, and I'm just pointing out the fact that I'm pretty sure that boy was a scouser a second ago, or
No,
possibly
he
wasn't, or something else.
The town landlord was a scouser.
That was something else.
Ha. The ground opens up and swallows Belgarath whole. The end.
Beg pardon, what was that?
No,
So-
Lister was a scouser.
Thank you.
Bainham was not.
What was Bainham then?
I don't know.
He was an angry half-orc. That's what he was. Anyway,
I'm sure he had a different name.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure
it's
he had a
now-
different voice as well.
he's
One
now...
point was that he had a different voice.
So he has a free action.
Afterwards.
Alright, he rolled a nat 20 against you, Kaz. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit.
But I was trying to keep a distance from him. Oh,
He's like thrown himself forward. He's not going to catch you very hard because he's a distance from you, but because he knows it's you casting all this shit at him, he's gonna take. But you only take 2 points of damage from him because he's sort of swinging wildly at you.
What? Just 2 points?
Yeah, sorry.
But 2 points is fine. What, you mean 2, right?
Yeah, 2.
Wasn't it a critical though?
He rolled a nat 20, but that was to get to move in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, it all makes sense from my end.
Okay, I will accept it, thank you, but... It wasn't very impressive.
It now means that you're in, single-digit hit points, so...
Oh no!
Oh no, what must it be like to be in single-digit hit points?
Alright. It's now Varric's go, you can all shut up.
I'm gonna shoot another arrow at the guy I shot before.
Alright, roll your attack.
Wait, quick question.
Whacking over the head.
Yeah, true. You're standing in between us. Is there anyone I have a clear shot of?
A clean shot without hitting anyone else would be the 2 orcs who have come up behind at the back. So one of them has been... No, actually, neither of them have had damage done to them yet, actually.
I'll pick one of them.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's probably a better idea.
Let me check what will I add. I add 7... 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Awesome. So now, for damage, it's a D8. Yes! I hit for max damage. 15.
15. Alright. Minus 15. Where are you hitting him?
Can I go for the head?
Yeah, sure.
I will go for the head.
Alright. You catch him in the head, and it goes straight through one of his eyes and out the other side.
Nice!
Yes!
Kill that guy.
And
Of course.
he's still walking around, like he's still running towards you, but at this point it's almost out of momentum and less out of him being aware of what he's doing.
Is he not traumatized by getting shot in the eye?
He's a half-orc man.
He'll walk it off. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He's a half-orc man, he can take it.
Okay.
He's just a poor NPC.
I would love to take out this other eye, but I can't fire a second arrow.
Alright, Belgarath, it's your go.
Okay, well, I'm going to, while spitting and cursing furiously that the guy will just refuse to be knocked out already, gonna take my quarterstaff in 2 hands and go for another swing at his head.
Alright, roll an attack.
Alright. Uh, 14.
That just hits, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
So,
Rosie, did any of the orcs look undead?
no.
Okay. I'm just asking because they're reacting very weirdly to the injuries.
It's a good question though, it's a good question, don't worry.
but anyway, okay, so just roll for damage. I got 7.
Oh! Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead.
Yep, dude that you were stamping on the neck is now dead.
I only wanted to knock him out. Oh, what has science done?
Well,
Rose is in dead or just down?
you can, if you want, then he can just be completely unconscious.
Okay, so he's just unconscious.
Yeah?
I only whacked him on the nog with a quarterstaff. It's not like I buried an axe in his sternum.
Yeah, but he only had like 7 hit points left, so, you know.
Okay, Okay, yeah, so he's unconscious, bleeding out.
Alright, so one guy's unconscious and
I
probably
can live with that.
probably needs some medical attention sometime soon, you know. Could do with a cupcake and a bath or something,
Okay.
you know. And at this point, Pug, as you're getting ready to go, you hear shouts coming from the fields. And a load of the townsfolk have dropped their weapons and come running around you in a big circle. And they're shouting things like, no, what are you doing? They protect us, no, stop, please, stop.
In our defense, they started it.
we will protect you now instead of them.
But you guys just want to leave. No, they stay and they protect us, they help, no.
Oh, we will defeat all of the monsters out there for you.
You can't defeat a whole country of monsters, everyone who leaves here dies.
Yeah, in my defense, I never had any idea of doing any monster fighting. I just wanted to leave town.
Yeah, they were the ones who was keeping us captive here. We're just trying to leave, and they got in our way, so they get put down. Are you guys going to stay in our way too?
They look at you specifically, Pug, and they go, you've been here for one flipping day, it's not like prison.
They said we couldn't leave.
Yeah, I stayed here for a day, I was about to leave, and they stood in my way.
But there's an easy solution to all of this. You let us walk out of this town.
That's all of this said in the first place.
It's not, we can't let you leave, it's too dangerous, no, it's not a good idea.
That's what you call imprisonment. So you're trying to imprison us.
But you're free.
Dragonborn's got a point there.
You're not in prison. You can live here, you can work, you can go back where you came from.
Or we could leave.
Not out there. It's too dangerous. You can't go out there. Everyone who goes out there dies.
But if
Why won't take our chances?
where I came from, I go back to Travis.
Do you want us to stay here and keep killing your orcs, or do you want us out?
I stand with Pug.
Quite succinct there. I'm with the half elf.
They keep saying it's dangerous to go out, but look at the orcs. I think we can manage for ourselves.
They say, but
Agreed.
it's not up to us to decide, and it's not up to you to decide. It's too dangerous, and we don't want any more dead. We've lost so many people. We can't. No. And you guys,
You're gonna lose more if you keep this here.
Yeah.
you guys notice two things now. You notice that over the course of this, the afternoon has got darker. Those of you who've been in Travis for a long time recognize that this is the early night. Travis, for the last 5 years, night has started to fall very early. Even though this is around 4:30 in the afternoon, the skies are getting very dark and everyone is starting to huddle together. You also notice that coming up from the other end of the field are another 10 half-orcs.
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
The townsfolk start to back away and say, no, it's curfew when it gets dark. Go, take one of the houses, take one of the empty houses and stay, it's too dangerous. And they all put down their tools and start leaving the field for the night.
Right.
We were in a fight here.
I'm with Belgrade on this one.
The group of half-orcs from the bottom of the field, a couple of them split off and accompany the townsfolk back into the town and back home. But there's another 8 walking up the field towards you. And
Can I try to talk to Raymond?
sure?
Wasn't he completely knocked out?
No, that was the other one.
No,
that was the one I was fighting.
Oh, yeah.
So haven't we proved that we have a quite specific skill set that you could use for a lot more than toiling the fields? Perhaps you should reconsider our offer of doing a different sort of work for you.
Roll a persuasion.
Oh, that's 20. So that's overall 24.
Okay. Well, he rolled a 19, so it's not too bad. He looks at you and he sort of dusts himself off a bit. He checks over his red fancy coat, which is obviously stolen. And he says...
And slightly on fire.
No, he patted it out. Back in round 1, he patted it out and he says, well, we might have use for you. Come with us. It's after curfew. And guys, bring that one. And he gestures to the half-orc that's on the floor, and a couple of them lift him up. And they all sort of encircle you.
Can I quickly grab my arrows?
Sure.
Out of the eye, that guy who
The half
shot in the eye.
darts forward, pulls with a massive squelch, and a little eyeball.
Is that orc screaming at all in pain?
No, he's sort of going. "Ugh." He's sort of more growling than screaming. These orcs, you get the impression that they're very battle hardy and they're not one to give in to showing pain, no matter how much they might be in.
Just get some arrows.
I was just checking if they are alive. Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't worry. You'd be able to tell if they were dead.
Okay.
Like the one that I just clubbed over the head.
He's unconscious. So, you can continue with your initiative if you want, but you have now got 8, 9, 10, 11.
I don't think we are fighting anymore. They are happy to offer us some work.
So you've got about 13 orcs and one half asleep orc encompassing you and leading you back through the fields into town.
Yeah, I have one spell that might be good against this situation, but after that, it's not going to be much good. So I reckon we should probably go back with the orcs.
Level 1.
I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, it's all friendly and fun.
I just cleaned my arrows and nod.
Alright. So you all get marched back into town. You notice, actually, can you all roll me perception, just while you're walking back?
Yep.
24.
Bloody hell.
I think he's seen it.
22. Like 20 points of difference.
When it mattered, it was fine.
Sorry, did I need to roll something? My dad came in.
That's okay. Roll perception.
Perception. Okay, cool.
So D20.
We are going with a group of orcs. We are buddy with them now.
16.
Alright. Everybody except Cass, sorry. You're preoccupied by keeping an eye on these orcs. Half orcs, sorry. Everyone else, you notice that it is getting very dark very quickly. It takes you about half an hour to get from one end of the field back into town. And as you're walking and it gets darker and darker, you notice the half orcs closing in and warily glancing around, clutching their weapons very tightly and walking quicker. They're picking up the pace now. They're marching you back into town very, very quickly.
This is just normal for me. Of course I wouldn't notice.
You're just like, la 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 la, walkie, 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 la 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 la.
Normal nighttime.
My natural curiosity is going to be inspiring me to ask, is there some reason that we're in a hurry?
Who are you directing it at?
The nearest orc.
Alright, the nearest orc to you would be Bainham himself, actually, because he's
okay, well, I'll be directing it to him then.
And he is holding his whip out, and he's... Sorry, that sounded really bad, didn't it?
He moved it out.
Sorry.
Yeah, he did. Well, I punched him in there. He needed to get it out and give it some air.
So, sorry, how did you phrase that to him?
Basically, is there any reason that we're in such a hurry to get back?
He says, curfew when it gets dark.
And what is the reason for the curfew?
Dangerous place to be.
Why?
What sort of danger?
He says, just hope to yourselves that you never have to bloody find out.
Well, now I'm just even more curious.
At this point, you're now back. You've got into the tavern.
Curiosity killed the half elf.
What did I do?
We all know it's most likely to kill Pug first.
Racist.
All of them.
I mean, that's half the party.
You're
You
now.
hear this, Pug? You hear what they're saying? We're just falling in with a crowd of racists. That's what we're falling in with.
You're now.
All of your squishlings are the same to me.
Alright, you're now back at the tavern, the Red Holly. The townsfolk are no longer in there. There's a couple of orcs who are clearing up the food supplies. You see them outside as you're coming in. They're locking up the house next door, which is where the food supplies are kept. As you look through the door, you notice that there is a very large stack of food in there. Like, considering how small the rations are that they've been handing out. Yes, Varric, you in particular notice this.
Yes, of course.
And you notice
I
it.
just realised something. That in that whole conflict, Arissa was just sort of standing there, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Standing in the back, just staring into space.
Just casually strumming on her guitar. Love, there's some half-orcs, love. Yeah.
Did you say whoppers?
To attack the room.
No, it's half-orcs.
Ah, okay, sorry.
Waffles.
I thought you said waffles.
So yes, Varric, you in particular notice this because you're hangry, and everyone else. I'll include it as part of your perception. So sorry, Cares, not you. You guys notice that as they're shutting the door, there is quite a substantial amount of food in comparison to the rations they were handing out, especially when people were saying how hard they've been working in the fields and things. There's a lot of food, potatoes, vegetables, corn. There's a lot of that in this house that they lock up and they head on into the tavern with you guys. And it's now...
Oh god. Can we try to grab him?
We've lost the elf.
Okay, let's just ignore it.
I think we probably shouldn't just ignore it. That'd probably be a bad thing.
Varric, you try to, but you are encompassed by half-elves. So you can't half-orcs. You can't really sway towards the food without rushing into it. You can try. Do you want to roll stealth and see if you can sneak out?
Oh, this is not going to go well.
That's a good idea, actually.
But wait, he's in plain sight of the orcs.
Yeah, he's going to have to roll really well, but I'm going to let him do it because it's funny.
I have Mask of the Wild and I rolled a 26.
Oh, in which case, it's not so funny. Suddenly, all of you forget that Varric was with you and carry on walking into the tavern.
He just turns invisible and just vanishes.
He's just that good.
Varric is now hanging out with the Tuesday party somewhere in Boston. You guys carry on into the tavern. Varric, I'll come to you in 2 seconds.
Yeah, of course.
You make your way into the
This is going
tavern.
to go badly for us. This is going to end very badly. I've just got that feeling in my stomach about this is going to end badly for us.
We don't have to associate with him, we can just ignore him.
That's true.
In the tavern, all the townspeople are gone. The elders are gone. There's now just the barkeeper, Lister, and several of the half-orcs. Once they've brought you in, only 6 stay. The rest of them go back outside. Bainham stays in there with you. Alright, and I'll take a pause on that for a second. Varric, you are now in front of the locked door to the house where they're keeping all the food. What you gonna do?
Can I roll sleight of hand to see if I can... wait, what do I roll to try and unlock the door?
To
try and lockpick it. Oh wait, I actually have nothing to lockpick with, right? Fuck.
You can try and do it just based off. You can find sticks and things on the ground. I mean,
You never picked a lock before, have you, Rosie?
I've pretended to on several occasions. I mean, you can
It's a lot
try.
harder than it looks, especially when you're doing it twigs.
think you can't really do lockpicking without proficiency.
Do you have proficiency in it or anything like that?
Yeah, unless you got like lockpicking, a lockpicking kit or proficiency in lockpicking, I don't think you're going to be able to pick the lock.
Well, you can try to find a different place to sneak in.
You can punch the door down.
You can break the lock.
Pug's answer to everything. Can I punch it? No. Well, I got nothing then.
Well, he will punch it anyway.
So, yeah,
Did you try punching it? Yes, we did. Damn it, we tried everything.
Wait. I do have a very small bone talisman, like from a bird that I hunted. Could that work to pick the lock?
Well, what does the talisman do?
Well, it's just an animal trophy, something I got from killing the bird.
is it like bone?
Yeah, it's bone.
Like what Apricity used back in the dungeon?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll let you roll with that for disadvantage.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do I roll for it?
I'm just going to check that actually because
Wouldn't that be dexterity?
I think it's just straight dexterity, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay, awesome.
it's not specific enough to be sleight of hand, so I'm just going to say dex because it can't be strength. That wouldn't work. So we're just going to go with dexterity for now.
No, it would be dexterity.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's actually pretty okay. That's an 18.
With your disadvantage?
Oh wait, yeah, disadvantage. I rolled even higher now. Yeah, it's 18 after disadvantage.
Fueled by the power of your hungry stomach, you manage to pick the main lock on the front door of the food supply. You are now standing in it's like a ruined house that's been abandoned and hollowed out, so it's now a massive room full of, you've got grain, you've got crops, you've got vegetables, you've got some apples and fruit, you've got potatoes. What are you going to do? All of it's uncooked, obviously, but what are you going to do?
I'm gonna try and steal as much of the stuff that I can actually eat. So, all of the stuff that's edible raw, I want to try and take as much as I can.
All right, roll me a straight d20.
13.
All right, you've got 4 days supplies of vegetables that you could eat straight away. And you've got 2 days supplies of fruit.
Awesome.
Alright. Are you doing anything else?
I think I might actually try to sneak back into the tavern.
Are you gonna re-lock the door or leave it open?
It's going to be even more difficult.
I think I might not be able to lock the door, so I'll just close it behind me and act like nothing happened.
Sure, try that.
Another stealth, right?
Yes.
20 after my modifier.
Alright. You managed to put the door back and the lock was on a chain. You managed to sort of hang it so that it looks like it's still all attached, and it looks okay. Yeah, looks all right, passable. You sneak back into the tavern and see the rest of them.
Genius!
Surrounded by, I think it was 6 half-orcs in total, including Bainham.
Okay, I just try and like join the party again, like casually, as if I was just standing to the side.
Alright. So, play, guys.
Hi, guys.
So where were you going to?
You who have been here the entire time.
Yeah, I was just off to the side for a bit, just distracted.
Oh yeah, so I think we were going to talk to Bainham, right?
Yeah.
We were going inside to talk about some work that they want us to do.
Yeah. So Bainham, would you care to tell us more about these work opportunities?
Bainham is now sitting near to the bar, but in one of the comfy chairs. Now the elders aren't there anymore. He's got his feet up on a stool with his legs crossed. And the barkeeper, Listor, brings him a massive flagon of ale. And he doesn't appear to take any money for it. And as he's drinking it, he sort of motions for you all to come closer to him. And
Before I sit down, I say, hey, barkeep, give me one of those too.
Giving Dick Van Dyke a run for his money.
he brings you over a big flagon and says says it'll be, I'll say 2 copper again, actually.
Alright, 2 copper. I pay him 2 copper.
Cool.
Cool.
Alright, so are you all sitting down? Or standing awkwardly?
I'll take a seat on the stool.
And,
I'm standing.
alright.
But I do go closer.
The other
I'm
half
gonna
orcs. The other half orcs are stood. A few of them by the door, and a few of them are dotted around by the bar. There's 6 of them. Alright, so what were you asking?
How many half-works?
6 in total.
6? Okay, we can take 6.
We were asking about these work opportunities that he mentioned.
Oh yeah. So Bainham finishes his drink and he says, "You guys so determined to leave here, but you gotta know it's fucking ridiculous out there. Anything you've seen you can't imagine. It gets so much worse. And then just after you get through the next bit, there's more, and then there's more, and everything's gone to shit, and there's nowhere near enough of us left to deal with it, so we're all left here picking up the pieces. But you guys want to be tough." And he looks at you, Pug, here.
I am tough.
He looks over at the half-orc that you slapped in the face a couple of times, and they share a grin. And he says, "What do you think then?" And he looks at both of you. The guy that you punched goes, "Mediocre."
Really? That was like what, 18 damage? Jeez.
The dude's still got more than half his hit points, man. Sorry.
I can punch him again.
Right now?
No.
No, not right now. I'm drinking, not right now.
Alright, not. Alright.
Now is drinking time.
Actually, if you'd like to make that in character, then both Bainham and the orc that you punched in the face are now drinking, and they go, "Alright, not while we're drinking. Good." Some things take precedence. And Bainham says, "But look, I'm not happy letting people leave here. The villagers don't want to do it out of good conscience. I don't want to do it because I need more people here, and I know if I send yous off trotting into the distance, you ain't never coming the fuck back. You'll be lucky."
That's the idea.
Yeah, we don't want to come back.
You assholes again, no.
Exactly my point. We need people here. But hey, you're so desperate to prove yourselves. You can come out and help us tonight.
What are you exactly up to?
Now, telling you that wouldn't be playing fair, would it? You guys want to prove yourselves? You can come and help us to deal with what's fucking out there, and then maybe you'll start taking me seriously, like.
I feel like it would be playing fair to tell us what it is we'll be fighting against. I feel that would be the exact definition of playing fair, actually.
I'm actually just well up for it.
Thank you. Good person.
Well, if you did tell us, we could be better prepared for it.
I'm with the Dragonborn here.
All yous need to know is in about 4 hours' time, I'm going out with a group. You guys can come, try and prove yourselves, see what you're made of.
Against what? To do what? Just what?
I don't understand why we have to prove ourselves to you when we could just leave while you're out fighting.
Did you see how many half-orcs we've got in this town, boy?
Yeah, they're all busy.
No.
Are you gonna leave some of them babysitting us while the rest of yous are dying?
The rest of us won't be dying, my friend.
Then why are you so afraid of what's out there?
We ain't afraid of what's out there. We're looking
Either
after.
way.
Well, then you won't mind coming with us then, will you? Excellent! And he claps you on the back.
Fucking shit.
Look. Get yourselves somewhere to kip for a few hours, catch up, and regain all your strength, hit points, and I'll come and get ya, and you can come and help us, and prove to us that you're worth the fucking time. And in answer to your bleeding repeated questions, it's nothing good, it's nothing human, and we don't know where the fuck it came from, but we know it came after the war. Now,
I mean, there aren't particularly a lot of humans here, so...
There's
So I'll
quite...
finally get a taste of the hunting.
There's
I mean,
quite...
I don't see why it's dangerous just because it's not human.
There's quite a few humans in the town, but not exclusively.
That's a good point, actually. In fact, none of us here are human apart from the very, very quiet bard over there.
And the barkeeper. And me, the Scouse barkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget about him.
that character who is integral to the plot of the story.
Hey, he might be. How do you know?
Yeah, alright, fair enough.
Ha.
We're not far enough in the plot yet.
Remind me to thank Craig Charles for their glass of wine.
Now, I'm gonna go get round to business. We stay upstairs. If you really fancy it, you can try and persuade old Listy there to give you a couple of rooms. Otherwise, go find yourselves a damn house. And Bainam puts his tankard down, nods at the barkeep, and walks out.
Arissa scored me and her a room, right? With her boarding thing for playing in the tavern.
Sort of, but it works differently here. Because the town has been so destroyed and most people are essentially squatting in the empty houses, what it counted for here was that you guys were given a better deal on drinks, the two of you, for the last 5 days. And he let you, sleep by the fire in the chairs. But the rooms upstairs, you found, were exclusively used by the half-orcs. However, he's now given you permission to potentially sleep in one of their rooms.
Okay.
So just for the two of them, huh?
Well,
Yes.
actually, meditating by the fire is enough for me. Do that.
It's enough
Yeah,
for you guys to have a short rest and, as we discussed earlier, regain all your stuff.
All in that for the short rest?
Wait, how long is that?
You'd
About 1 hour.
Okay. Yeah, not enough for trance. Okay.
No, you'd get about 2 to 3 hours in total, because he said he's going to come and get you. So he'll come and get you in about 3.5 hours.
Oh, wait, how will he know where to get us if we decide to squat in a house?
He'll know. He runs this town.
How?
He runs this town. He'll know. He's got orcs watching you right now.
Okay.
Half orcs. Sorry, half orcs.
Yeah, I'll just take a kip in the chair. I'm fine with that.
I'll pick one of the chairs as well.
Can I ask
we'll
the...
sleep here. Or I'll sleep here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the barkeep and ask for a room.
Yeah,
Alright.
same.
Alright.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, we'll try to get a room as well.
Oh, the ladies are so sensible, guys.
Well, we're going to be sleeping somewhere afterwards. Like,
Lister says to you, "Oh yeah, I'll let you in the room down the end." And he calls over to the rest of you. "Are you guys comfortable down here, or are you coming upstairs too?"
It's chair will do for me.
I'm fine here.
All right,
I guess I'll go to a room, I guess.
you guys keep an eye on that fire then. And he leads the girls and Pugface upstairs. He leads you down a corridor, and these are the rooms that were available to sleep in when this tavern was a fully functioning tavern back in the day. They are decorated with stolen and found bed sheets and bedspreads and quite fancy looking things that seem to have been stolen from other houses, potentially around the town, potentially on their travels. This is where all the half-orcs sleep. From the state of the beds, just from the size of the dents that are in them, you can tell this is where the half-orcs have been sleeping. A lot of the doors are half open as you walk past, and you see quite a lot of empty plates of food and piles of like sweet corn cobs when you've eaten all the corn off it, piles of those, some bones of animals that have been caught and cooked. Quite a lot. It looks like they're living it up here. Fairly...
So there's just a lot of garbage lying around.
Yeah. And the garbage tells you a lot about... These people have been living fairly well. Like, these guys have been taking care of themselves. They're eating a decent amount of food. They're living. They're sleeping well. You know, they've got quite fancy bed sheets and things. And they're not squatting in empty houses. They are here in the tavern. You get led down to a door right at the end of the corridor. And this door opens the door. And there's about 3 beds in the one room, and then there's another room next door to it with another 3 beds in it. And he says, "Will these be all right for you?"
yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll be happy with that.
What about food?
He says, "Oh, it's after curfew now. I don't think I can get you any."
There's plenty that we have seen around. Maybe you can just slip a little bit for us.
All the food in their rooms was already eaten, so...
I'm sure there's a source for it somewhere that you know.
Oh, I don't have a key for that storeroom. I don't. They look after it. They do.
Alright, we don't need to eat.
Did nobody bring rations with them? Honestly,
I've got some rations. I'll just take a bunch on those.
everyone downstairs.
10 days of animal rations, 4 days of vegetables, and 2 days of fruit. But I'm the only one who knows about the last few.
And he's going to eat them all tonight. So.
Rosie, do we have rations on ourselves that are in like starter packs and stuff that we purchase?
Yeah. If you've got them in your starter pack, unless you deliberately left them off to make room for something else, then yes. So as part of your short rest, you can have a snack if you've got something like that with you.
Well, I'm starving. I just have a shit ton of stolen gold, and...
You can't eat. They don't have any ration.
I mean, you can try and beg off someone else if you want. That'd be funny.
I'll be good. I'll be good, because I'll probably take some tomorrow.
Okay.
Still some.
Alright. Does anyone want to do anything, say anything, or chat to anybody before they go to sleep for a few hours?
I'll probably eat something.
Alright. Varric eats 6 people's worth of food in about 5 minutes. Anyone else?
No, I'm just going to take a snooze.
Alright. Okay,
Go to sleep.
everyone sleeping? Alright. You guys downstairs are woken up first. The fire's still going. It looks like Listor's kept it going for you, and some of the orcs, half orcs, are still in the room. You're woken by a gruff voice of Bainam saying to you, right, get up, it's time. Where are the others? Upstairs? And Lister calls over and says, either upstairs or down the end. And he says, right. And Bainam goes upstairs to go and get them. And a few of your half-orcs are still downstairs with you guys. You guys upstairs, both your doors get a hammering on them. Do. Get up, come on, let's go, come on, it's time.
Has that cost us anything?
I slowly and deliberately prepare.
No, it hasn't cost you anything.
Okay, sweet.
We got all our health points back, though, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I'm going to say, for the sake of this, you've got your hit points, you've got your spells, you've got all that shit back, because you're only level bloody 1, it's fine.
Sweet.
Okay, so I guess we are ready to head out.
Alright. You
Put my
all
clothes back on downstairs.
commune in the downstairs of the tavern. And you are met by Bainam and a group of 5 half-orcs. As you leave, and they all lead you back into the town. Okay, Varric's just... Oh no, Varric's just back now. So all of you are being led, Varric, by a group of 5 half-orcs and Bainam out of the town, back towards the fields. And the night...
Wait, Rosie, are there any torches? For visibility?
No. You can make or bring
Can I light a torch?
You can light one if you want.
10 of them.
Oh, it's a good moment to be a half-elf.
Yes, that as well.
I will light a torch
Alrighty.
and then carry it with me. Do they say anything about it, that I'm lighting a torch?
No, that's okay. Just remember you've got it.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. You meet another few half-orcs who are patrolling the town. Another one is out by the fields, and he also has a torch. And he meets you and Bainam has a murmured conversation with him. You guys can try and listen in if you want. If anyone wants to listen in, you'll have to roll, roll me perception.
11.
20, but not natural.
21.
Alright. You guys who are listening, you heard the half-orc who just arrived and Bainam speak to each other. Bainam asks in a low voice, he says, "How many tonight?" And the other half-orc says, "We're not sure, but we've spotted movement of at least 6. And Bainam says, "Hungry?" And the other half-orc says, "Very." And Bainam says in a voice that carries to all of you, "Right, let's get moving."
I whisper to the rest of the group, these must be those wolves that can poison you.
I am afraid of wolves.
Wait a second, I need to check something. What? Are these beasts?
Are you asking?
Yes. Like, do they count as beasts?
Who are you asking?
You mean,
Just the dungeon master, sorry.
you mean the half-orcs?
Favorite enemies, the things we're hunting. My favorite enemy is beast.
Beasts?
Like in general.
No.
Well, we don't know what it is yet, so...
You don't know that yet.
Okay.
You can ask them, but I don't think they'll tell you.
So while we are walking, I try to just have a conversation with one of the normal orcs and try to get out of them, like trick them into saying what sort of thing we are hunting. Just try to pick up someone who doesn't look very clever.
That could be any one of them, I'll be honest. All right.
Yeah, I will just go for whichever one looks dumbest.
But actually, you find the one who was knocked out earlier and is still looking a bit dazed and sort of like he's there determined to do his job, but he's a bit...
You're welcome.
He's a bit...
Okay.
And...
So I'm trying to trick him into revealing what we are hunting, so that would be deception then?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's 15. Not very good.
Alright. Alright. He doesn't tell you what you're after, because that's the one thing he knows is not really to be talked about. But he does say, there's more of them. There's more of them now than when we first came. They didn't know. Like, the townspeople, they didn't know what they were and that they were getting killed and we couldn't have that because, well, we need workers and, yeah.
How's your head?
Oh, shut up.
Okay.
Okay. Is Arissa with us, by the way?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so I guess we're just gonna have to follow these guys until until more information is forthcoming.
Okay. As you walk onwards, you realise that some of the half orcs who are walking with you have been carrying quite heavy sacks over their backs. And as they as you all get halfway along one of the fields, they start to pull them to the front of them, and you notice that these sacks have got lots of the food supplies and rations in them.
Right.
Varric, that gets your attention.
Mm-hmm.
The half-elf is all ears. But no one says anything except Bainham, who looks at the hefty sacks full of food and he says, "Let's just hope it's enough."
Okay, I think it's time that we discussed what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I'd like to say what's going on.
It looks like they need bait. Is that right?
Pug says, "What, is that enough for us? We could eat off that."
I happily chime in with that.
Yeah.
I agree with Puck.
Bainham says, "You fucking wish it was for you." He says, "Now lads, there should be enough food in here, but we're never sure how many we're up against. Sometimes it's just one, sometimes none of them make a move. We've never..."
What is it?
He says,
You'll find out soon enough.
he says, "You'll frickin' find out, and don't say we didn't warn you, and no more of this."
You did warn us. You did tell us what it was.
And and no more of this, "We want to leave because we're so brave and so good." You just look at this. This is only level 1 of what you're going to be up against if you go out there. And he points out towards the wood pass and where the rest of Travis is.
Wait, what is a level 1? Is this a squish?
You beat me to it.
Can you explain what this level 1 is? Is this a level of a house?
He says, "This is the first of so much shit you could be up against. And this is bad enough. Imagine the fucking rest of it. Now come on."
Well, I can't imagine the rest of it because I can't imagine this because you haven't told us what this is.
It seems to be something that eats food.
Well, so are most things.
Yeah.
as you are saying all of this, you notice ahead of you is a ring of torches that have been set up in the corner of one of the fields. As you approach it, you notice it's a ring probably around 20 feet going all the way around, and there doesn't seem to be anything particularly there that catches your attention. The two carrying the food go ahead of you and start to throw piles of the rations into the middle of the circle of torchlight. And as you all get closer, I was going to say roll perception, but no, you don't need to roll perception. Okay, you notice that in the middle of this circle of where the torches have been set is the only thing you can see so far is one of the scarecrows in the corner of the field.
Right.
Is it eating the food?
No, it's not doing anything.
Oh no, it's not doing anything. It's a scarecrow.
Oh gosh, so naive.
So it turns out that the scarecrow is just a scarecrow and you just look like a massive numpty thinking, oh, it's an evil scarecrow. No, just a scarecrow.
Okay, so there's a scarecrow in the middle of the circle, right?
Yep. And then suddenly Batman swings in. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so I try to look around for movement.
Alright. The only movement at the moment is the orcs that are throwing food. And they're throwing the food into the middle of the circle, close to where the scarecrow's pole is. As you look around, you also notice there are other circles of torchlight further off in another 5 fields. And you see another couple of half-orcs doing the same thing.
Okay, well, I've prepared my battle axe because I'm expecting something to jump into the circle.
Yeah, I'll draw my bow as well.
I have a question for Raynham. Are we expected to fight anything here, or are we just going to observe something eat food?
I'll be quite
I'm
honest,
ready
darling.
to-
I'm expecting you all to fucking die.
Alright, well, I'm gonna ready a firebolt, but I gotta tell you, if we're gonna be facing against the killer rabbit of Kaer Bennock, I'm gonna be smacking some people.
It only eats vegetables, so it can't be that dangerous.
Alright. Just before we
It's true, vegetarians are just not very deadly at all.
Just before we get into the next bit, I'm going to do a time check for my UK people. Well, for everyone, really. It's now coming up for 11:15. Is everyone okay to stop somewhere in the next half an hour to 45 minutes? Because I'm aware people have work and stuff.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I just noticed that my alarm will be going within hours, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can stop in the next 5 minutes or in 30 minutes. Which one's better? Because I can.
I don't mind.
30 minutes is, I think, would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 is fine for me.
Yeah.
30 is okay.
All right.
It's 3 o'clock for me, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sharp.
After this, he's just going to keep going with his own adventure.
The sun is shining, it's a pretty good day.
It's beautiful out, man.
Yeah, he's just going to carry on with his own mini D&D thing for the next 7 hours without everybody. It's fine.
Side quest!
Exactly. Mini side quest. Really, really mini.
Punching everyone. Punching all the vegetables.
Oh my god, it'd be like a little Mario game where he just punches things. Dilip, dilip, dilip.
Can we please get some art of Pug playing whack-a-mole?
Yes.
You are living in a world of punches.
Alright. So, working this for the next 30 minutes. Yeah. Okay, I know a good place we can stop. Alright, so.
Cool.
There's piles of food laid at the base of the scarecrow's pole. There's circles of torchlight around it, and you all... Oh.
Can I try to stealth myself in the darkness and just hide so I'm not too... I will have to put out the torch, but just so I'm not visible to whatever is coming.
You can pass the torch to someone else if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Does anyone else want it?
I'll take it.
I can see that.
Alright, Kiara's taking the torch.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I just want to hide somewhere. So just observe from a distance.
Alright.
I said stealth.
Alright.
16.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, can I try to hide as well?
Yeah, go for it.
Just copying me.
Well, I just failed. I rolled a 1.
Aww.
Oh, God.
A natural 1.
Aww.
I think if anything I step closer to the fucking torch.
Yeah, you start...
You knocked over the torches.
You start to shrink away into the shadows, but then the corner of your eye, you notice that big pile of food, man. And like the most munchy-filled stoner in the world, you step towards it, and actually you do knock one of the torches so it wobbles, and all of your shadows, it doesn't fall over, but all of your shadows like wobble on the ground, you know, as the light moves. And Bainham throws out an arm to steady you, and he says, "Wait for it," thinking you're, you know, stepping forward for, you know, whatever you're stepping forward for.
Awesome.
And then, quicker than any of you could possibly have imagined, the pile of food on the floor is suddenly devoured. And before you stands a tall half-elf. And before you stands a tall, skinny, outstretched hand figure, and the scarecrow has jumped down off its perch and has now consumed almost all of the food and stands within the circle of torchlight, stretching its hands out towards you guys. And can you all roll initiative for me, please?
I told you.
Yeah, I wasn't doubting that it was the scarecrow. I just thought it'd be funny if it wasn't.
See, most people get goblins on their first go, guys, but not me. Not me.
Sorry, what do I need to roll for initiative?
Your D20 and then...
See, and then add your dex.
I love it that I don't have to answer anymore.
Your dex modifier.
I have 7.
I got 9.
Okay.
Oh god, I got 5.
A good thing we have Varric, otherwise I would be first.
I'm quite happy with my +5 modifier to dexterity, to initiative as well.
So, how'd you get that?
+5 dexterity, I rolled 20.
Ah, nice.
Pug, have you got a 9?
I rolled 3 6s for for one of my skills, so dexterity was at 18, and then 2 because I'm an elf.
Sweet.
Okay. Bainham. And let me just get the scarecrow, hang on. Alright. Okay, so first up we have Varric. Followed by Bainham, followed by Kaz, followed by Belgarath, followed by Pug, followed by one of the half-orcs, followed by Kiara, followed by Anna, followed by
Jesus Christ, it's going to take a while.
Not necessarily. Alright, so Varric, you're up first.
Well, considering that thing just consumed all of the food, I'm gonna assume that it's my enemy and I'll shoot him at.
Food
You
enemy.
monster!
My food!
Alright, roll your attack.
15 total.
Yep, that hits.
Yes! I did a thing. And then 13 total for damage.
13.
Yes.
Alrighty.
How do you do so much?
Well, I rolled 6, and then I add my dexterity bonus and my proficiency bonus, right? And that's an additional 7.
You don't add proficiency for damage.
Oh, in that case, 11.
Okay. I mean, as far as I know, you don't add the proficiency for damage, just the strength or the strength modifier.
Okay.
Rosie?
Say again?
When and what do you add to for proficiency?
Sorry, you cut out halfway through that. Say again.
I said, if you are proficient in a weapon, what do you add and when do you add it?
When I looked it
Because I'm
up,
proficient with the quarterstaff and I didn't add anything like for proficiency with it.
you should do.
Yeah, but that I know that now, but I don't know what or when.
See, this is why I said to read your sheet. Basically, if you're proficient in a particular weapon, every time you use it, you add that, which I believe... Hang on. Right.
Yeah, you add it to your attack roll and your damage roll.
Attack roll, and you add it to your damage roll.
So I add it to my damage. So I can add it to my damage, because then it's 13.
Yeah,
Instead
add it
of
to your
11.
damage.
Okay.
Oh, okay, then I was doing that. Okay, never mind. Well, I was adding it to my damage, I wasn't adding it to the attack.
Yeah, it's important to add your proficiency to the attack because it can make the difference between obviously a fail and a pass, which is potentially why it's good. And every way I've played, you also add it to your damage as well because again, you're proficient with that weapon.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
And the last place I read it also said that they did it like that, but I'll check again later. But for now, yes, that's how we've been playing in the other group as well. So did you say 13? Did you say 13, Varric?
Yes.
Yeah, alright. And were you doing a bonus action or were you holding it for that? In fact...
I don't have an option for a bonus action.
No, that's alright. Okay, next up after Varric is... Oh, it's a scarecrow, sorry. Oof. He is aiming for... Well, he's aiming for you, Varric, because you're closest to him, because you just went forward for the food. And he rolled a 9 plus... So 10.
Trying to hit me.
Yeah.
I got 16 armor class.
No, he hasn't hit you then. He swipes at you with one of his claws, but you manage to duck out the way, and he misses you. And number 3 is Kez. It's your go.
It's my can you do the bonus action? Bonus action second.
Say again.
Do you have to do bonus action? Do you have to do action first, bonus action second, or can you switch the order around?
Yeah, do your bonus action second.
Okay. In that case, I first do eldritch and then I will do Hex. So eldritch Hex is just going to be it's a 10 on force damage. But then my hexes go. which is just going to mean that I'm doing more damage next turn.
Yeah.
And I also pick one of its abilities.
Yeah. Which
that
one?
It gets disadvantage on. Probably strength again.
Disadvantage on strength.
Yeah, I don't know what its ability was.
That's okay. I'll remember that one. So, what was your? Did you attack it, or have you just done the hex thing?
I tried to use the blast, which did 10 points of damage.
10. Okay.
Yeah. Do you can add your proficiency to spell attacks as well?
If you're proficient in this spell, if that's a thing.
That's not a thing, sorry. Okay, sorry, I didn't damage. And my hex, which just means it will have
Yeah.
the disadvantage on strength checks, I'll do the damage to it from next time.
Okay. Alright, so I've written that one for next go. Okay. Is that the end of yours?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4 is Belgarath.
Okay, well, after as the fight is happening now, I think I'm going to hit the Scarecrow with a Ray of Frost.
With a ray of what? Sorry, you cut out.
Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost? Alright then.
Yeah. Okay, so I just rolled damage, yeah?
Yep.
Right, 1 second. D8 is the only one I don't have.
And while you're doing that, actually. Sorry, while you're doing that, I have to roll. Carry on.
Okay, I rolled a 5 damage.
Okay, he only takes half damage on that.
Okay, but he does. His speed is reduced as well.
Okay. So I'll say you did 5, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 3 for half of that because it's easier. And half speed. Alright.
Yeah.
And do you have a bonus action too? Or is that...
That's all I'm able to do at the moment.
Yeah. Alrighty. After Belgarath is number 5, Pug.
Okay.
Oh my god, please punch the Scarecrow.
That's right.
Say
What?
again?
It's still in the ring of torches, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can I grab one of the torches?
Yeah?
Can I chuck it at the thing?
Yeah?
Alright, I want to do that.
Alright.
Excellent. Javelin, throw one of the torches.
Roll a d20
Yes,
and add
that's-
your strength.
What?
Roll a d20 and add your strength.
Strength? Oh, not dexterity? Okay. I mean, I'm down for strength. 7. 20. Not natural.
Yep. Alright. And for damage for that, I'm gonna say roll 2d6s.
Roll what?
Roll 2d6s.
2d6 is okay. I got 10.
10. Alright.
10 fire damage.
Alright. It's now on fire. And the frost thing is no longer in effect, so its speed is back up again. And it's making a horrible screeching noise that's very unearthly. It's sort of that kind of like trying not to disturb my neighbours kind of noise.
Can I shout at the orc? That's what you are afraid of?
What was that?
Are you not entertained?
And then I'm done.
Alright, Pug, can you roll me a straight d20, please?
Alright. I got 11.
Alright. Were you yelling that at anyone in particular?
At the orc with the
Bainham.
Bainham, yeah.
Alright. Bainham grabs you by the scruff and throws you into the ring of torches.
Oh,
Fight.
You land just beside. You land just beside the scarecrow, which is currently focusing on everyone else.
Okay.
And it's very much on fire.
And is on fire. And up next is... Oh! It's the other half-orc. Ooh. Oh! Okay, he rolled a 2 on his attack. And he is swinging his axe at the scarecrow. And... Pug, you take 4 points of damage.
Wait, did he hit me?
Yeah. He rolled a 2. I'm sorry.
Wow, okay. I'm going after this fucking orcs, man. I made 4 points?
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's fine, I'm fine, I can take it.
Spanish steel orc.
Up next at 7 is Kiara.
sweet. Okay, so I want to just completely go for hitting the scarecrow with my battle axe.
Okay.
So, oh shit. So I've got a 7.
Yeah. Is that total?
Yep.
Alright. That doesn't hit, but you can have your second go. Because I'm nice.
6.
Oh, bless. The scarecrow, you swing at it, and it's a good hit, but the scarecrow is now attracted to the other axe that went swinging past it and hit the pug, sorry. And it's now turning around, looking at the small, yappy dog with a squishy nose, and is lowering down towards the pug.
Wait, where did the dog come from?
That was Pug farting, by the way. Pug
What
lets
happened?
out...
Sorry, I missed something here.
Pug, I'm saying Pug is a dog. That's what I'm saying. It's a joke.
Ah, okay.
Because I'm adorable.
I was wondering if it was the circle that turned them into something else, but
Oh, no.
apparently not.
Oh, do you have to go to bed?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have work in my other house.
Calling.
Yeah.
He's calling you. Come to
He
me.
is. No, he is. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
You guys carry on, but
That's okay.
I'll join you next weekend.
You'll be about 15 minutes behind, so it's all right.
Oh, sweet. Okay, right.
Right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye,
What keeps
hon.
me good for you?
Okay, so the scarecrow's now turned around and is like sort of leaning down over you, Pug, and like burning bits of like straw and flame are like licking down your face, and it's really getting quite hot in there, and not in the good way that you're used to. Okay, up next is Enna.
Okay, so I'm going to use my scimitar, whatever the hell it's called. I'm going to go to smack it right down the middle of its head, like right down the middle of its body, and cut it in two.
Okay.
So, okay, I'm going to roll 19.
Ooh, that hits.
And my damage.
8. Do. Alright, and did you want to have another go as well? Do you have a bonus action, or?
As in, like, the attack bonus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I added that.
Okay, cool. And do you have anything you can use as a bonus action, or is that it for you?
That's it for me.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, to be fair, that was good enough, so that's fine. Okay. After Enna is it's the second half orc.
Oh, real fast. Did it? The scarecrow didn't attack me, did it? It just kind of looked at me.
No, it hasn't had its second go yet, so it's just turned and it's like got attention on you now. Okay.
I see.
The second
Top heather eyes.
yeah, it is. And it's all hot and sweaty. It does attack.
It's on fire.
Okay. And it hits and it gives it a big blow to the back of the head. So it's now turning back around to look at the rest of you guys again, just in time for the top of the round. So we're back up to Varric.
Okay, I'll shoot another arrow at it.
Alright.
Wait, did the scarecrow actually attack him? It's obliterating it for fun.
Say again.
I'm just checking.
Checking what?
What did the scarecrow do so far? Has it attacked anyone, or are we just obliterating it?
He tried attacking me and missed.
Oh, okay.
It's only had one go so far. But it's about to have
Now it's looking
another
at Pug.
one. Well, no, now it's looking at you guys.
17 total to try and hit it.
Yeah, you've hit.
Awesome. And that's for 11 damage.
Alrighty. 11 damage. Okay. Your arrow goes through the scarecrow, catches on fire, and suddenly catches on a load of the straw, and it engulfs in loads of flame. The scarecrow shape rises into the air, and as all the straw and bits of material fall away, what's left is a black billowing shape. It's like black mist and dirt, and it's got no eyes and no face, and it's floating above you all with a rasping sort of noise.
Oh, it's a Dementor.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, just the usual nighttime wonderful features. Lovely new friends.
I'm quite enjoying the similarities between Kess and Professor Fisher. It's like, oh look, a demon of the night. That's adorable.
But I'm sure this is just everyday life in Travis.
Oh yeah, everyday life in Travis. It's all good.
Yeah. Nothing unusual.
Nothing to see here, kids.
Nothing to see here whatsoever. Okay, Bainham turns to you all, seeing this, and he shouts, "Together, as one, it's the only way." And
Friendship is magic!
yes, and you all start singing My Little Pony, and
Oh my god.
and
I like where this is going.
and there's rainbows and magic, and then suddenly loads of apples rain from the sky, and an orange horse canters into view and starts singing a song, and yeah, it's all magical and great. Meanwhile, back on, planet Earth, or not.
Winter wrap up, winter wrap up.
We're apples forever, apples together, with family but so much more.
We've lost her now.
Goodbye forever, my friends. Okay, so back on Mercer, as we were.
Yeah.
He seizes one of the torches in the circle and throws them, passes them all back, so you've all got one. And then he aims and throws one up at the ball of fire, like a black smokeness. It catches one of its arms, which starts to singe even more smoke, but it's still heading downwards towards the rest of you through the sky. And Varric had his go, so it's now the Scarecrow's go. Okay, and it's gonna aim at who's closest to it. Actually, it's Bainham, and it's gonna do a swipe attack with its claws and do fuck. Okay, Bainham got 10 damage. Okay, and it's now Kaz's turn.
So is the Scarecrow still there?
Yep. It's not a Scarecrow anymore. D&D unicorn.
Wait, did the Scarecrow turn into the black then?
Yeah, it's the Scarecrow's form and fell away, and this was what was inside.
So it was a possessed Scarecrow.
Yeah. Well, something like that. Out of character knowledge, everybody.
Okay, so I guess I will aim an Eldritch Blast at it.
Yep.
And now I will also have my Hex working as well.
Yeah.
So it's a total of 15 points of damage at it. Force and necrotic damage.
Alright.
So it just shoots up in its not face of darkness.
How much damage was that? Was it 15?
Yes.
Okay. Because in its current form, it's only going to take half, so I'm going to say it takes 8.
Okay.
I'm going to round up for you, but that's still 8. That's still good. What it does is when it hits it, it recoils inside itself, and the arm that was catching on fire from the torch that was thrown at it suddenly spreads. And it's like writhing in the air. Like, if anyone's seen Pan's Labyrinth when the mandrake is on the fire, it's like doing the same sort of like movement. Like pretty twitchy.
Oh. Wait, so we were meant to be throwing the torches at it?
You can do whatever the hell you want, that's just what they happen to be doing.
So it started to grow bigger when I attacked it with magic, basically.
It got bigger, but it's writhing around and it's on fire and it's not happy.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, it's
So
like
you can fire again.
So, you've now got Belgarath, if you want your go.
Yeah, I'll take my go, and I'm not going to need to throw a torch because I can make a torch. I'm going to throw a firebolt at it.
Alrighty. Firebolt, firebolt, firebolt.
Yes.
Alright, roll your damage.
Okay. Where are you, D? Okay, I got a 9.
Alright, cool. You cast the firebolt and the black shape explodes in on itself with a sort of noise. Again, sorry, downstairs neighbours. And it explodes inwards as if it's been sucked inside, and then all the matter goes out.
Well, that doesn't usually happen.
And they all seem to reform as tiny black shards and whisk away on the wind towards the lightning storm.
Right.
Just as you
Well, that's
all look
interesting.
around going, cool, you hear shouts from several other half-orcs, and as you turn around, you see all the other circles of torchlight moving and throwing fire, and you see another 5 scarecrows hovering above 5 separate fields.
No joy, no rapture.
And that's where we'll leave it for today, so that people haven't missed too much and they can join in with the next fightings.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Fabulous.
I wanted to grab one of the torches and, stab it again with it.
He wants to have a flaming fist of fire and punch people with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think
Just need to
together
get someone
we
to
could
enchant
come.
it.
I think together, Pog, we could come up with something on that.
Yeah, you can just set his arm on fire.
Yeah, it'll be worth it. It'll be fine.
Or like make flaming like brass knuckles or something. Like awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, this needs to happen. Oh, just quickly, because I'm going to stay on the server for a few seconds, but can everyone just say goodbye to the recording? So that is the end for today. Everyone say bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.